Hello, everybody, and welcome to Tides of Death. How are my favorite players doing today?
We're doing great.
Doing
Yeah.
wonderful.
Fantastic.
Oh. Starting off with the spicy ones. Okay. Does anybody have a pirate fact for me? A seafaring fact? I will even start accepting nautical facts since we've kind of run the gamut of piracy.
I
Boats?
definitely have
Float.
a fact.
Boats float! 5% experience, Mr. Mooton.
Thank you.
Wouldn't be surprised.
That's what happens
sorry.
when your favorite, Nick, okay?
Yeah.
What were you going to say, Sale?
I have a boat fact. In fact, I have a series of boat facts. Since we now have a crew, hold on 1 second. My thing's going crazy. I lost my Zoom. I can't see your guys' faces. Since we now have a crew, it's probably a good time to talk about like living on ships and like the roles of people. And there are many skills required to keep a ship afloat and going. An able and skilled seaman would probably have years of experience managing the sails and acting as a helmsman before they're promoted to being like, this is like a fully respected able seaman. He's been, on the sea for 2-3 years. Some of the skills that a seaman might be able to do is knotting and splicing ropes. It's where like you kind of fray the ends of a rope and then like interleave 2 ropes to make 1 rope out of 2. It's like if you had to cut a rope, you could make a longer rope. If you need to change the rigging. And you know what a knot is. I don't need to explain a knot. But there was like able seamen, and then there's also idlers who were specialized workers that lived on ships who were exempt from the night watch because they had a special skill. Like, for example, cooks, surgeons, carpenters, coopers, and pursers were specialized workers who didn't have to do night watch, and they were called idlers. And I reckon they were called idlers because it's a bit like the armed forces in the US calling the Air Force the chair force. It's like a jab at the people who don't have to do the hard jobs, like, oh, look at him, he's an idler, that's the cook. Officers were more or less the same as able-bodied seamen. However, they were just like of higher rank. They were able to do all the same skills, throwing the lead or lead. I don't remember what it is. It's how you like check the speed of the boat, you drop the thing, or check the depth of the ocean. Some officers could use like the sextant to check the stars. Then there was another rank of crewmen. So there's like able-bodied seamen, officers, idlers, and then there was landsmen who were like on bigger ships. You would have like tons of people who hadn't earned their sea legs. They were unskilled workers on the boat, so they were landsmen. They were people who'd never been to sea or maybe only been out once or twice, and they were like bottom of the barrel. You're lifting things all day, you're pulling ropes, and you're pushing cranks. You're not doing anything interesting. You're doing all the hardest jobs. You're getting the least pay. But if you stuck around long enough, you would get the skills to become like a fully ranked crew member. Now, in reference to pirates, pirate crews were always expert crews, because it's one thing to float a boat from one friendly port to another friendly port. It's another thing to attack a ship doing that and try to take their stuff. Pirate crews also tended to be larger than merchant crews because pirates are lazy, and the more people around, the less work everyone has to do individually. So whereas if you're like a merchant sailor, you want as few people as you can in the dock or in the boat, because every mouth is a mouth to feed and a wallet to fill with money at the end of the journey, Now, before you get the idea that like pirates, they'd have bigger crews because they were caring about profits or anything like that, it's just about laziness, because they would just as happily like enslave people and capture people and make them do all the hard jobs. So slaves were not uncommon, as well as just like if you were just happened to be captured, you were forced to work. You wouldn't be locked in the brig all day. You'd be locked in the brig at night and then brought out and made to turn the crank to turn the boat or whatever. Other than that, like it was really common in the Mediterranean to use captives to row your boats. That's it. That's all the stuff I picked up.
That's pretty good. That's actually a lot of information. Why don't you
All
take
about
home
rolls.
8% for that
Hell yeah.
huge dump
Whoa.
of all sorts of crew-related information?
Crazy.
Good one.
Yeah,
Shout
well,
out
I mean,
to
it was
Doombo.
better than boats float, so it's got to
Well,
get more
I
XP.
got another good one.
Yeah.
Back in the day, pirates used to get, bad diseases. The way they prevented that, they ate lemon, so they would prevent scurvy.
That's
That
that's
disease
worse
is
version.
a overgeneralization of scurvy, but yeah.
Well, I
That
don't know
is-
if I've already got
Don't give
XP
me,
for this.
don't give me anything. I
Oh, it wasn't going
related
to.
to that.
Okay, good, yeah.
Is the reason why British sailors were called limeys is because they used lime to combat scurvy. Germans were called krauts because they used sauerkraut to combat scurvy, etc.
There was a previous
etc.
one, right?
Pretty sure
Yeah.
we did that one now.
Yeah. Oh, well, I haven't got a fact, but I do have a Nilrim-related story from when I was playing Crusader Kings last night. That is pretty funny.
Let's
So I was
hear
playing
it.
Crusader Kings with Potato,
Yep.
and I was playing William Marshall. Okay, so I was strong, I was honourable. Right, my first son I named him Grimes, and my second son I named him Nilrim. Now Nilrim's not like other boys. Okay, by the time he's 16 years old, he's sadistic, vengeful, wrathful, and an all-around bastard, essentially. Okay, so I've been playing, it's been about 10 years since then, and then Grimes, my beloved son, is murdered. Can't believe it. It's okay, now Nilrim is my heir. Okay, about
Well, hold
5
on.
years after that, go on.
I feel like you papered over him being a fornicator with his own
Yeah.
mother.
Grimes did sleep with my wife, yeah, his own mother. That's true.
Is that what
I
you
could
got?
forgive. I could forgive that. But anyway, then I hold a little feast, as you do, and then I die at the feast, poisoned. So now I'm playing as my heir, which is Nilrim. You can look at like how many characters a character has killed. I look at Nilrim's kill list. Killed his brother, killed his father. So I was slain by my own son. But now I'm playing Nilrim, and it's like I've got to make the most out of this. So I blackmailed a bunch of the other dukes in England to get them to vote for me. And then I murdered the Queen. And then because they were all voting for me, now Nilrim's King of England, ready to destroy Ireland.
There it goes.
Wow.
That's it, yeah.
So one of your sons fucks your wife, the other one kills you.
And him, and the son, yeah.
You
Bad
were a
genes.
terrible father.
William was, yeah, he was too honorable for this world.
He wasn't really around to help raise his kids, I see.
No, he was conquering, yeah.
All right. Well, where last we left the party, Nilrim and John had gotten back to the base. But the rest of the party was stranded. Stranded on an island beach, their ship chained to a mighty tree, a single guard standing nearby. Did we leave with the guard alive, or did... Yeah, you hadn't killed
The
the
guard
guard.
was alive, I think, right?
I don't know if he's dead. He's definitely like punched to near death at least.
Yeah,
Well,
you
it's
beat the
two
shit
dead.
out of him. I'm looking at these rolls. I'm seeing 10 points of
6 and
bludgeoning
a 2,
damage. Yeah. Okay. So you are standing over the body of an unconscious guard. Over here on Paradise Island, the so-called vacation island. I'm sorry, Angel Island, the so-called vacation island. And down the street, down the coast is, the big resort hotel, and up the coast is sort of open, just sand, beach, and palm trees and wilds. And well down the coast in the other direction again is the town, a few miles back. And someone's going to notice this guard missing, and probably someone's going to notice this commotion from the resort pretty soon if they haven't already. So what are the 5 of you going to do? 6 of you? Bunch of you, the lot of you.
Yeah, there's a bunch of us here, maybe 6.
Mm-hmm.
I'll turn to Archie and I'll say, Archie, how do you think we're going to get out of this? Do we diplomacy, violence, crimes?
Well, I'll tell you this, Sale. I don't know much about diplomacy, but I do know a whole lot about crimes and a whole lot about violence. And you know what else I know, Sale? I know how to steal a ship. Maybe John's not here for it this time, but, if we can't get the ship offshore, we'll just find another one. It's fine. What did we say on the ship earlier? We shouldn't think about it too much. Just go with the flow. That's the pirate way.
I like it. My only worry is, are we going to find a better ship? Here's the analogy I'll use, Archie. Let's say you lent me your brass knuckles for a day, okay? And I took them and I went out and I punched a bunch of people. And I punched them real good.
Yeah.
But During that day, I got arrested, and they took my brass knuckles.
Oh, that
They
that
were
would be
yours.
really sad.
Yeah, they were your brass knuckles, and I got them taken.
Ooh.
They were your
Mm,
special brass knuckles. And now I go,
yeah.
and I steal a new pair of brass knuckles, and then the next day I give them back to you, and I say, here's your brass knuckles. How do you think you'll feel about that?
Well, I mean, obviously that wouldn't be great. I'd probably punch you
Yeah.
if you did that.
Now, what I'm wondering is, how attached is Captain Winters to this boat? And how attached is Niram to this boat? Because it's a nice boat. It's gotten through a lot of trouble. But there are better boats.
Decent ship, yeah. There are much better boats out there. That's true. But I mean, also, we're a crew, and I feel like, with the brass knuckles example, it's you're kind of using my brass knuckles, but the ship's kind of ours as well, right?
That's a good
Like half
point.
the ship.
This is a level of engagement with this analogy that I wasn't expecting, Archie.
I mean, do you think we can get the chain? What if we just what if we destroyed the thing that the ship was attached, the chain was attached to, and then I just repaired it? I've learned how to like repair ships and stuff like that. Maybe we could do that.
Do you think you could repair it? We got back to base?
Koibu, do I feel like with my shipwright proficiency, I could repair the piece of the ship that we ripped the chain out of?
Yeah, if you were to hack apart your ship to the point where you could get the chain out of the oar locks, you could, in theory, fix it if you had some downtime and the appropriate tools. And I think you have many of the appropriate tools. You'll have to get back to double check. You might need to get some equipment. But in theory, yeah.
I mean, if we're getting equipment, we might as well just get a saw and saw down the tree, right?
True.
If we're getting equipment... what do you mean getting equipment?
I mean, like, do we feel like we have enough like equipment on the boat to fix it as we? Because let's say we break it right now. We just break that piece off that it's affixed to part of the oar lock. We sail out, right? Then we fix it on the sea. Do we have enough wood, enough tools to do that?
You don't have any equipment to fix it now. You'd need to get back to base and then see what sort of supplies you have there. You might need to go get some wood from somewhere that's of an appropriate type, and it'll take some time.
Do we feel like if we like left the chain attached and the chain was just not attached to the tree anymore, do we feel like that would lead to any problems sailing the ship?
You could put the chain in the boat so it wouldn't drag, but the oar locks through which the chain goes would be unusable by your phantom rowers.
And then we don't know if okay.
It's not the biggest deal in the world. You've got room for a bunch of rowers. If you lose 2 oars on one side, you'll have to fuck up the oar locks on the other side so the phantom rowers don't use those. But you can still go, especially if you're going with the current.
If we're gonna do that, here's what I'm thinking, Sail. We break those oar locks that the chain's attached to. Just hack it apart, punch it. Well, we have some weapons and stuff. We'll just break the other side as well, so that the phantom rowers don't go on that. We sail home. We fix it at home.
All right, I'm on board. Now we got to figure out how to break it. I do have, double checking my spells here. I do have a heat metal on me. I don't know. I'm thinking. Question about heat metal. How many minutes of like hot metal would I get, and would I be able to like char through a chunk to pull the chain through? Like,
you're probably not going to have enough to burn through the wood of the ship. Let me see. Heat metal. I think really the hottest part only goes for 1 round. And you might like catch some of the wood on fire, but it wouldn't be enough to char all the way through a nice sturdy ship plank.
Here's the
would
thing.
It make it easier?
Like, real quick.
Yep.
Isn't so we're experienced seamen, right? I feel like if you're on a big ship that carries a crew and stuff like that, an experienced seaman would normally keep some carpentry tools on board. No. Like,
probably, but you've got a pretty moderate-sized ship right here with not a lot of storage space. You've got food and water and supplies, but you haven't really been carrying extra lumber.
Okay.
or like proper repairing tools.
Not
Would
even
we
like a
have-
saw or something.
Like hammers to pry apart.
Because we did go and
planks?
buy a bunch of shit.
Yeah,
we
you
did.
bought
We,
it.
do, we bought
Reasonable
that.
to
Yeah.
keep a saw.
Yeah, let me roll a die. Let's see how we go with the saw here. 15 is a good roll. Yeah, you've got a saw on hand. It'll take you a
Alright.
little while to cut through this thing. You know, it's a awkward angle. It's a tight oarlock. You can do it though.
All right.
Would we also maybe have a hammer that would like help pry apart the planks? Like maybe there's a plank we can remove. That's like probably.
Yes. If you want to set to work with the tools on board, in an hour you could probably free it and, you know, fuck up both sides enough that the phantom rowers won't use them, and you could be out of here in an hour.
Sounds like that's what we're doing, right?
All right, I like the plan. Now, Archie, my only question is, how far do I think the town is away? Like, if someone were to be alerted right now that the guard was taken out, how long would it take for them to get that information to the town and for them to come back here?
Well, if they're on horseback, they could be here in 20 minutes. If they're on foot, probably closer to half hour, 45 minutes.
Okay. All right, Archie. I think I have a plan that works with that. It might take about like half an hour to an hour to get this done. I'm going to prepare a call lightning spell, like right now, while you work on breaking the thing.
Yeah.
So if anyone shows up after I'm finished casting, we're just blasting. We're going all out.
Blast 'em. Hell yeah. All right. Sounds awesome.
All right. I will.
And Archie is
start
just
casting
happily
call lightning.
sawing away. He's singing sea shanties. He's asking the crew to join in. You know, they're all having a grand old time.
Totally. Yeah. Janet and John Brophy are singing along with you. James comes over and takes a look at the guard that's been beaten into unconsciousness and will do their best to make sure that the guard doesn't actually just, you know, bleed to death here. But, you know, there's not much you can do for the poor sap. It reports to you that his jaw has sustained too much damage and he can't stop the bleeding inside the mouth, and he's probably just going to drown in his own blood.
All right.
So he turns the guy upside down and just, like, lets him bleed out instead of the, like, horrible drowning and gagging. And that'll be that. Let's see. Very quickly, you will notice a small amount of commotion over at the resort. There appears to be a whole bunch of people standing on the beach, shading their eyes, looking this direction. You've definitely been spotted. The altercation down here has definitely been noted, which makes sense. If this boat's been parked here for a few days, everyone at the resort probably knows about the boat. The guards have probably come and asked everyone at the resort whose boat it is. Yeah, they've definitely seen you. Likely that your presence has been reported. And about 45 minutes later, you can see a couple of guards who are pulling up on horseback towards the resort area and looking out in this direction. They're at a good range. You know, the resort's pretty far down the beach, and they shield their eyes against the sun and observe and watch. But notably, they don't approach. You see two guardsmen and one officer of some kind, all on horseback near the resort, and they're talking to some of the people over there. The officer in particular, while the guardsmen keep an eye on the lot of you in the boat. But they don't approach and they don't give you any trouble.
They better not.
I'll wave at them. See what their response is.
They do not wave back. And after a little while of hammering and sawing and prying and cursing and working together, you free up the boat enough and get yourself ready to push off and into the water. It's been about 15 minutes that the guards and the officer have been watching you. Officer's now remounted on his horse. The three of them are just near the resort, still kind of near the rest of the people. But they don't approach you at all.
Say like
we
they're
got away
scared of
scot
us.
free. Hell yeah. I'll high five Archie.
The two of you high five, hop into your boat, push out to sea, and sail away. All right. Little do they know. Fallen directly into my trap.
Oh no.
And some days later, our whole crew will be gathered together again in their base outside of Port Ferris.
Well, on the journey,
Mm.
one of the days I would like to double check the ship. There's a lot like creeping paranoia that we got away a little too easy. And I want to see if there's any items that I don't recognize on the ship.
You're a fucking genius, dude.
You know, just cast detect magic to be safe.
Yeah, why don't you give me a perception check while you search the ship? You know,
My worst stat.
so everything seems to be here that's supposed to be here. Nothing is here that's not supposed to be here. You give it a good once over, and if there's something here that's not supposed to be here, it's like well hidden.
Damn. Yeah, my paranoia is abated, and there's like a little bit of paranoia, but it's, you know, that's just the low-level paranoia that Sale lives with all the time.
Okay. Are you content then?
There was no casting of detect magic, right?
No spells have been cast.
Oh, I will cast Detect Magic just on one of the days.
That's a good idea.
Yeah. A couple days into your journey, or maybe a day and a half into your journey, you give a quick once over with the Detect Magic. Detect Magic is the sort of spell where you get like a path in front of you that you detect. It's not so much a cone, but more of like a straight path. And the boat's not that wide, so you can stand at one end of the boat and kind of look down at the boat this way, and then you can go to the other end of the boat and look the other way, just to make sure you encompass the whole thing. And sure enough, on the underside keel of your boat, because you can't see it when you look over the top, there is a beacon attached to the underside of your ship.
Damn.
Fuck that.
Okay. This is like some federal agent stuff right here.
Yep.
Goddamn feds.
So we're like 2 days, so they would be tailing us knowing where we're going. Or just waiting until we stop. I'll tell Archie about it. I said, Archie, I had a bad feeling about us getting away too easily. And I just, I know the White Prince likes to use beacon a lot, and I just had this creeping paranoia. But maybe he like put something on the boat, like something we wouldn't notice. And I did a detect magic, and there's like something on the bottom of the boat with a beacon on it. I think this is how they track criminals. They don't actually confront them. They wait until they're laying low. Whoever this White Prince guy is, his agents are geniuses.
I don't know about geniuses. Like,
Yeah,
I don't think they're as,
well.
Yeah.
I don't think
Nowhere
they're
to
as smart as
genius, no.
John. But
True.
but I mean, like, can't we just remove the beacon?
Yeah, I think we should. I mean, unless it's like bolted onto the side of the ship, then we might have to like circle around a while we try to get rid of it. I will need to sleep though for a day and get a water breathing spell so we can go check it. Unless you feel like you could dive down and take a look. I like point to the side of the ship. It sounds like it's around there-ish on the ship.
We can stop for a second, dive down real quick, and see.
All right. You stop the drumming, the oars pull themselves in, the rowers disappear phantasmally. The rest of your crew has sort of gotten used to these creatures by now, and they're a little less skeezed out by it. And everyone comes over to see what's going on. Little Bobby says he'll keep watch and make sure nothing approaches on the distant shores. Shoshana and Mary Beth grab some ropes and get ready to like toss them to you if things go poorly. And Archie, it's up to you now.
All right. I'll ask before I dive down. I'll ask Sale what I'm looking for.
What would be the impression of the item that I have?
Oh, there's a beacon down there. There's a magical source of blah, 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 blah.
I don't know. Something that looks out of place on the bottom of a ship, maybe.
Okay, I'll go look for it. I'll dive down. And swim around.
Yeah. Give me a perception check, Mr. Archie. Mr. Archibald.
Always.
These Archie dogs.
It just doesn't miss, Neil.
The bottom of your boat along the keel is a very cleverly disguised little hole. It looks like someone has carved like a circular hole into the keel, and then replaced, covered it up with something that blends in very well, just like a little circular piece of wood that's pressed in there, and then maybe there's some some mud or some clay that's rubbed in there to hold it in nice and tight, and the wood matches pretty well with the wood on your vessel, and the lesser man wouldn't have noticed this this little spot back here, but Archie sees it. He recognizes the difference in wood pretty quickly. Archie is a man who knows his wood well. He's identified it in the past.
I'll dive up and I'll yell up to Sail that I found something.
What is it, Archie?
I think it's the beacon. I don't know if I can. What did you say exactly the object looked like? I'm sorry.
It's like someone has patched a plank, or not a plank, like a big heavy piece of wood.
It's like someone bore a hole into it and then patched it up with.
Yeah.
Do you think you could carve it out with a knife, Archie?
I can try. Yeah. Can you toss me one down?
Yeah, I'll toss him down. The sturdiest knife that we have access to.
It's not a difficult thing now that you've seen where it is, and you're a proficient swimmer. You can tread water with just your feet, or if you need to grab onto this, you take a deep breath, swim down, and fuck around with the knife, and very quickly that thing plops open, and something falls out and begins to sink. I need you to make me a dexterity check to grab it quickly before it sinks. Yeah, you pull out a gemstone. Yeah, well done.
I'll hold up the gemstone to Sail.
Excellent, Archie. Climb back on. I'll toss a rope to him.
This size, it's blue in color.
You want me to toss it?
No, it's fine. Just I'll throw him a rope. Just grab the rope. I'll pull you up.
Yeah.
All right.
Quickly, the party's all aboard together, and you've got this gemstone.
I would like to investigate it, just like to get a really good idea of what it looks like and what it is.
Yeah, it is a multi-sided, deep blue color stone, about the size of this D20 over here. Looks to be quite valuable indeed. Probably fetch you 100 gold or something on an open market.
I'll turn to Archie and I'll say, what do you want to do with this? We could just toss it overboard, leave it for some other sucker to find, or we could do some mischief.
Yeah, I was thinking that too. Like, there has to be something better we can do with it.
Well, we could meet up with another ship on the water and accidentally drop it on their ship, or we could, find out a way to make it float and leave a note on it.
I don't hate it. Yeah, we have some of this. We have some wood left over from when we broke the ship, right? We could just tie it to that, leave it hanging out in the ocean. I kind of like the idea of attaching it to another ship, though, because that way too we can ensure that maybe the ship keeps going and they keep following it, so they're wasting more time. Sail.
The only problem with that is, if we meet up with any other ships, they're going to see our rowers. So that's kind of a hard thing to pull off, unless it's aggressive.
And if we wait out for another ship to come, they're just going to catch up with us, huh?
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, maybe we just attach it to a piece of wood, leave it floating out, leave a nice note.
Yeah,
Okay.
I like that plan.
Yeah.
What day would you say that this was on their journey? How far away from base are they?
Probably
Hmm.
day 2 or 3, I would guess.
Yeah. Let me see. It.
Sail, could we maybe catch a fish and attach it to the fish?
That's an amazing idea, Archie. I'll call up the fisher, who I think was Shoshana.
Mm-hmm.
Shoshana.
Shoshana.
Yeah.
Shoshana, catch me a fish, please. I
Yeah.
need
She
a
grabs
fish.
one of the poles and puts some bait on it, tosses the end overboard, and she's gonna work on getting you a fish.
That was
Um,
a genius idea from Archie.
Yeah. I feel like he should get +1 int or something. He's been hitting some. I will, hopefully with the assistance of Archie, attach this gem to the fish in some fashion, or make the fish eat it or something.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm just getting the figures here. So it took you like 2 days to get there. So 1, 2. This would be Angel Island. And then you were there for 3 days, I think. 1, 2, 3. Left on this day. So you left on the 12th. And it would have been on the 13th then that you found the beacon. Sure enough, Shoshana catches you a fish, pulls it up. Nice, about yay big. Not the largest fish you've ever seen, but certainly big enough to... how do you attach the gemstone to a fish?
Either, like, if it's a big enough fish, you could probably just force feed it to the fish, because I don't think they have a vomit reflex. And it's probably too big to pass through its digestion system, so it would live for a few days before it would die ultimately with it. Maybe get eaten by a bigger fish, like a whale or something that swims around with it inside it.
Question: Am I to understand that it seems like beacons can be only put on like pretty expensive items? Like you can't just put it on a fucking log, right? That's kind of how magic items I feel like work, but I could be wrong.
I think that's permanent magic, I think. It
Yeah.
has to be exquisite.
Yeah.
For a beacon spell, the caster imbues a crafted object, a coin or a carved stone, a sword or a crown, but not a random pebble with a strong magical aura. Yeah, so it has to be something that has been like tailor-made or carved in some way, shape, or form, and not
Somewhat.
just like I got a rock and I hit it once with a hammer and now it's like a man-made rock.
Yeah.
It's something that has been worked with intention and is of fine quality.
Mm-hmm.
So you can force feed it to the fish?
If the fish is big enough to eat it,
Yeah, why
I'll
not?
force feed it.
It could, sure. It might not be good for the fish, but I don't think that's the concern here. So
The fish's welfare is of no concern of mine.
you plop the gem in the fish's mouth, it swallows it, and into the ocean it goes. Whoosh.
Yep.
And swims away. And the very next day, our party will return and regather back at Port Ferris, or just outside of it.
Do they decide to share the story about the beacon stuff?
Yes, I would definitely tell you guys about it in like the context of I think things are escalating. Also, we know how he tracks pirates. And like we need to like be checking the boat if it's ever like left unattended.
Noram's gonna say, well, one of us, you or me, need to carry a detect magic every day before we set sail.
Yep. And also, I'll also mention to Neuram, if he can learn the beacon spell, this is a great way to track valuable cargo ships ourselves to hunt them down.
Noram nods. Yeah. He already has the beacon spell.
Mm.
He wants to learn. I don't know how you want to rule this, Koibu. He wants to learn a remove beacon. So it's more targeted than remove or like dispel magic. I want to know if I could make like a second level remove beacon spell that all it would do is remove beacons. At either 100% accuracy or like pretty high.
Yeah, you're gonna need a proper like a research library to
Okay.
go through that. If you can find like a wizard or a wizard's library, or you can like take over a place for a little while, you're going to need enough books to do your research, which will take you weeks. In theory, you might be able to achieve this, but we won't know until you have the books in front of you.
Makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
It's quite an interesting story you've got there, guys. Worrying, but also interesting. You know, I wonder if this were to happen again, if we couldn't lay some sort of ambush with something like this.
Oh,
Good.
that's really clever.
Perhaps lure them to an island where we're already waiting with Call Lightning.
Mm-hmm.
We could also sow the seeds of doubt, attaching it to ships that are loyal to the White Prince.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I wonder if they'll end up thinking that we've got a base underwater. If they're tracking the fish. How
Well, I mean, if
stupid
we're
are these
lucky-
guys? Sure,
If we're lucky, with the assistance of the fish, who, he might think that all his enemies are underwater and that we're just like
Yeah.
the above water servants.
Yeah, you're right. Hey, that still might be true. This might not be a fish, but who knows what it is.
I think we gave him the old slip there. And,
Nice. Yeah, well, it's been a bit quiet around here, just me and Nilrim. And, yeah, I'm glad you guys are back.
Been good though,
Easy.
right, Captain?
It's been alright when you've been around, Nilrim. You've just been locked in that room of yours.
Oh,
Reading them damn books.
I
well,
like
if you'd like, I can read them to you.
No,
I'll
no, you're
jokingly
alright.
say- Just reading, Nilrim. Haven't killed anyone lately, have you?
Normal smile. No, I
Well.
think I got that out of my system.
On that point, I don't want to go into the details of it, I say, looking at Nilrim. But activities have taken place on the in Flotsam, and I suspect that there might be increased attention from the authorities in the near future. So I suggest to everyone, I say as they're all like getting their shit off the boat, no one takes any walks outside the base if you have that access. I look over the NPCs. Keep a low profile. Don't burn any fires that are too large. There's going to be more men on the island, so do not do anything that could draw attention to us.
Everyone nods in agreement.
I'll pipe up
then-
and say, then maybe it's a good idea we get out of here and go somewhere for a while.
Quick question:
Yeah.
Are we due for any experience here? I'm 1,700 away from, or I guess 1,600 away from leveling, so I'm.
Ooh.
We last got experience.
Right after
In
you
the
left
Last episode or the episode before.
the
Yeah.
other island. And then last session, we went around, we did some things, but I don't think any of it's
Okay.
really XP worthy yet.
Cool. Fun.
Okay.
Yeah, we can get out of here, but where are we going to go?
Can we
Oh, by
go,
the way, I picked up our first payment from Majora, so she's kept it to her side of the deal. We made 500 gold.
That's not
good.
bad.
Not bad at all.
I'm in the mood for pillaging, Captain. Would you mind if we did our newfangled way? We roll a d12 to figure out where we're gonna pillage on the islands.
Wait, what do you mean?
So we don't ever have a method of how we're going about. We always roll a d12, so it's like a clock. So we go to
Wait,
that
so you
clock spot.
just want to sail in a random direction and just fuck some ships up?
Yeah. Pillage, either get a new ship or get some supplies. Maybe get some more people.
I don't mind doing that. I just feel like maybe we should do it on the way to doing something else. But if you all want to just get out on the sea and have some fun, then I suppose we can.
But what are our options, John? Where can we go? The only leads I have are towards the inner islands.
Well, I was thinking about that. Now that we've got Ajora working with us, we still do have the option of getting in touch with her and getting her to give us a lift to the inner islands, dropping us off. Not saying we should do that now, but it's an option, something that we should think about.
We could always find a lead by pillaging a little bit.
That's true, you never know what you might run into on the open seas.
I kind of think it's important before we go to the inner islands to get a different vessel. The inner island is packed with wind, and that's the primary use of transport. So I think that maybe even getting a ship here would be the next step. But I'm good for anything.
Yeah? What, you think the rowers won't work? in the
They
Inner
will
Isles?
work. I just don't think they'll work as well as
Hmm.
with a
The sails.
or with a sail. My character would know. He's from the Inner Islands.
Yeah.
Is that
So
the correct?
more or less, like the inner rings have better wind power, and so you want a vessel that is more like rigged for wind. Yours is fine. You can make progress on your own all you want, but the bigger ships in the middle island, in the middle ring, are going to be faster than you. They're going to have like longer hulls, and they're going to be able to pick up a hell of a lot more wind, and they'll outpace you in the inner ring. Out here, the winds are not so great, so even with their massive sails, they can't quite get enough power to propel themselves forward. So your little row boat, your oar-powered vessel, is really ideal for this outer rim.
So what you're saying, Ilram, is that whilst we'd still be able to get around, we wouldn't be able to outrun any pursuers.
Correct. Not until we get a bigger,
Well,
better ship.
Given how all our trips landside go with you three, I'd say that that's a problem that needs rectifying. If we can't outrun our pursuers, the other option is not getting into any trouble, which I find to be an unlikely proposition.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're searching for a ship, a big one with sails.
It's at this point that James raises his hand. Excuse me,
Yes, James?
Captain.
James?
Well,
James is the guard, right?
yes, the guard
The Chagone
who
does.
was forced to, execute his former crew members and stayed with you through the fight.
Yes.
They're acquiring ships is very difficult. There's a lot of registration and what do you call it?
Yeah.
We don't worry about
oversight.
registration.
But
We're not really acquiring them in that way, James.
I know, but ships that aren't from the Dardanelles that come in here aren't registered anywhere and need to apply for registration. If a completely foreign ship were to make its way within here, it could be registered in someone's name without having to worry about overcoming.
Yeah.
But you'd have to
It's
pay
a
all
good
the
idea,
fees.
James. Well, we could pay the fees. We had this idea once upon a time. We traveled out towards Arcadia, but we ran into a Kelpie and quickly abandoned the plan. But it was a good idea then. It's probably still a good idea now. We could do something like that. Travel down the shipping lanes.
Mm-hmm.
Find a big ship with sails. What
I'm
do you
on
think?
board with that plan.
With
I think it's a good
sails.
one.
Yeah,
Yeah,
with sails. Something that can outpace our enemies.
It's making a name joke, Captain.
I know, Nilram. I ignored it on purpose.
There's only one sail, no room.
True. Yeah. Well, yeah. We could do that. Seems as good a plan as any.
Nilram will ask James, I think we've done this before, to point out the primary shipping routes.
Yeah, James is not super familiar with these things. He'll mention that in the Dardanelles, it's just in the circles with each of the rings, and then anyone that's heading in is sort of off on their own course, and there's not really a proper shipping route. As for outside of the Dardanelles sits like a little south of the main route from Redport in Arcadia to Tide's End in Solemn. And so anything just to the north of where you are here would probably be where you would run into those ships. So if you go to, north of Summerland or Colrogia, one of those places, and then just head out a day or two. And then if you can sort of just keep a steady location out there, you should run into some ship eventually.
So you want to do, Captain? Seems good.
Seems like a good idea. How do we know if whatever ship we get can outrun those that the White Prince is using?
I'll know.
He'll
Nilram
know?
says not knowing that he'll know, but yeah.
You understand the forces?
I was born in the Inner Islands, Captain. I know all about ships. I actually
Okay.
did sail with my uncle, the dirty bastard, for many years. He stole my magic ring.
You had a magic ring? What did it do?
It's water breathing.
Holy fuck.
Fucking loser.
Hey, where's your uncle?
Nilram shrugs. he went back to sea. If one day we're lucky enough, I'd love to introduce him to Ponos.
That's the spirit, Nolan. That's something I can get behind. A magic ring? That sounds great. You know, all captains should have a magic ring. I hold on my hand. Yeah, that would look good. What did it look like?
Magic
We'll
ring.
recant what it looked like, yeah.
Nice, yeah.
I found
Nice
it
green gem.
after I fell overboard. I was able to manipulate the magics. Wild magic, some would say. It was pretty cool.
Yeah. Well, you know what? Who knows what those foreigners will have on board? I hear that, out in Arcadia, there's all sorts of wizards and magic over there. You know, it's not all controlled by the king or whatever. There's loads of shit. Could be a wizard on a boat. We could capture one, steal his spellbook, steal his magic rings.
Normal nod. Maybe we'll see my old master coming for me. God, I hope he does.
Let's talk about ships for a moment, because there are many types and each ship is ideal for some sort of purpose. There's no like one ship that is just superior in all ways. If your ship is larger and faster, it probably has less cargo space. Or if it's more shallow so it can go up rivers, then it's less seaworthy in a storm. If it's more able to handle a storm, then it can't get as close to land, but it might have more cargo bay because it's going to be like a deeper hold. Like there's no one, this is the perfect ship for every situation. Every ship serves a very particular function. Some need large crews to manage them, and some need small crews to manage them. What are the traits that this crew is looking for in a ship?
I think it's nice to be able to outrun pursuers. I don't think it needs to be the fastest ship in the West, but as long as it's faster than your standard sail ship, the rest is probably fine.
We want the fastest ship.
Okay.
We also want to be able to, I think, track people down, and we don't want to die in a fucking storm. So less about going through rivers and small stuff like that, because we can just have like a paddle boat on board that we can jump off to. More about like survivability and speed.
Okay, so you want something that is highly seaworthy, that has good speed on it. And you're going to want good speed for outer, middle, and inner islands rings, right?
Yeah, which good speed we should be able to like drop the sails for the outer islands on like a good speed boat and just use rowing power. That's kind of why our Viking ship is actually really, really, really fucking good right now, is because we can do that. However, it's not going to be perfect for the inner islands.
Needs a captain's quarters as well.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. Captain's luck. Day 1. Nilrim is a dick. Day 2.
Useful.
Nilrim is a cunt today.
Still useful.
Day 3. Nilrim murdered 7 children.
But he also
fireballed their
saved my life. All right. This is a good spot to take our first break. When we come back, maybe our party will set out to the north and look for the right sort of ship. And we'll find out on the other side of our break. So see you soon.
Au revoir.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Tides of Death. So our party's sitting around their table here in base, having this discussion about ships, thinking about what they need to do. And some ideas for some good ships come to mind. What you're looking for is what we're going to be calling like a clipper. Now, don't compare this to historical terms. Clipper ships have meant different things over the years. We're just stealing some terms and applying them to our ships here. It's a medium-sized ship with a lot of masts, with 3 masts. It's got some good cargo room. It's very seaworthy. It's got enough length that it's got some real good speed. And in theory, it can be modified to be rowed as well. Although that would, change some of the cargo space and blah, blah, blah involved with it. It will be a pretty solid ship that covers most of your needs. It's not going to be the fastest ship in the world, but you could modify it to outfit it with oars so that you could go against the currents really well as needed. And that would also give it some extra maneuverability, which sometimes they can lack a little bit of. But here's the problem. For this like really good upgrade of a ship that you're looking for, if we don't even count rowers, you're still going to need a crew of like 40 people to really properly operate it. Any of these like good, fast ships that can work in the inner ring and the outer ring, you're going to need a really large crew to manage them, which is not impossible. But looking around at the 10 or so people assembled in this room, it's just not enough to properly crew one of these ships. You could squeeze by with like a skeleton crew that can barely make it go, but then you're losing all of the valuable things out of it. So,
Well, we're unlikely to find a ship without a crew. So,
you want to
Yeah.
take someone else's crew?
well, we take the ship, we take the crew with it. At least to begin with.
True.
That
What are they
could
gonna do?
probably get you where you need to go right away. But a crew with bad morale in a fight is pretty terrible. There's a reason that
They'll
in the
have good morale.
Mediterranean, all of the rowers weren't slaves, but freemen, because you want your rowers to be well paid and well rested, well skilled, and well motivated. A crew that actually does the sailing of the ship, who is enslaved or not really happy about their job, they're not going to perform well under pressure. And when it comes to being in a chase or being in a fight, they're going to let you down, says Wiley. You got to find a good crew for your ship. You can't just force people into labor. Sure, they might get you point A to point B once or twice, but when the White Prince comes breathing down your neck, those damn scallywags are there. They're going to work half-assed. They're going to wait for you to be caught. They're going to sabotage your entire operation and throw themselves on the mercy of the White Prince. They'll turn you in. You can't trust enslaved men. They're worthless. What you need are some good scallywags. What you need, Captain, what you might want. No, it's not my position to say what you need, but what might help you is a good crew, a good set of recruitment. Now, how you? In the olden days, I knew enough people that I could just drum up business from friends here and there. I don't know if you have any comrades, friends in arms, people you know who might be able to help you get a crew together, or just some
now
good
that you
old-fashioned
mention it,
volunteers.
if we're going to be outside of the Dardanelles anyway, Archie, we could always return back to our old stomping grounds in Arcadia. I'm sure I know a few people still around. Neil, what was the name of that city on the north coast?
Redport?
No, not Redport. The city that we were based out of. I'm just looking it up now.
Pretty sure it's Redport.
No, it was Weatherlight.
Weatherlight.
We're already going to be halfway to Solemn anyway. We could get the established crew to give us a lift to Weatherlight. Send them all on their merry way and see if we can't find any of our old friends or new friends. I'm sure there's still plenty of pirates there. My issue is that any good seamen who are disloyal to the White Prince are going to be few and far between. Hard to come by. Here.
Sounds like a brilliant idea, Captain.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was thinking as well, Nilrim. Do you think there's anywhere on these islands that are untouched by the White Prince, perhaps an old tomb or an old wizard's tower or something? You reckon that there's anywhere the White Prince hasn't gotten to yet? I mean, I imagine if there are, the people that know about them are the White Prince, but maybe somebody back in Arcadia might know. There's plenty of wizards over there.
I mean, there's the one island. We could even probably get crew from there. The Kaiser Island, Sulphur.
Yeah, that jungle people, though. Do they know how to sail ships?
You can teach them.
Yeah, I
There'll
don't know.
always be a few who want to go on a wanderlust.
I'm sure we could pick up a few, but 40, I don't know.
40? Probably not. But we can definitely get some.
Yeah. We want seamen. We don't just want bandits turned rowers.
These are
And
people
you're going to
who
need
would,
more than rowers, says Wiley. You're going to need able-bodied seamen. You're going to need people who have no fear of climbing up to the top of the tallest masts. People who know how to tie knots together. They can
people
turn
live on an island.
2 crappy ropes into a good one.
Well, why don't we head out into the shipping lanes to the north, see what we can find, and if we do find a ship, take it to Weatherlight, see who we can pick up there, and then if we've got a few spots to fill afterwards, we can always head to Kaiser Island or that place where we found the first healing salves. Remember, you were there with us, Wiley, with Spike, the bandits, and that. Could maybe find some people there too.
Where I
I'm
killed
sure
the bard.
where you killed the bard. If we bring enough silver and gold with us to Weatherlight, I'm sure it would be hard to come across willing recruits.
All right, let's head out.
So we're gonna head out to the shipping lanes to the north, as I understand it,
Yeah.
and just sit out there and hope you come across the right type of ship.
I think so, yeah. We'll take enough supplies that we can anchor out there for a few weeks.
Yep.
Before we go, there's like 2 things I'd like to do.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
The first one is after we like finish with the meeting and everyone goes to bed, I'd like to ask Archie if I could talk to him that night.
All right. What's up, Sam?
We didn't get a chance to talk about this because you were wasted. You were like completely gone, dude.
What do you mean, back on the island? Yeah, we got pretty fucked up, right? It was
Yeah.
amazing.
It was awesome.
Remember the gnome that was sleeping in the alley that we pissed on?
Oh man, he must have woke up and thought he did it himself.
God, what a fucking idiot.
But you said something to me. You said you talked to Rohi and you ate him? You said some now, I don't know, you said some crazy shit. What happened, Archie?
Archie will very suspiciously like look around, very obviously trying to come up with a lie, which he's terrible at. What? I don't. I think I would remember eating. What? Who is it?
You said you ate like I don't remember. You said you ate him. You said you ate, the god guy, the drowned one. You said you ate him. Like he's in you right now, and I like poke his belly.
I mean, we ate squid that one night, right? Maybe that's what I meant.
So you were just wasted talking shit? Is that what happened?
Well, if I did meet that guy, which I'm not saying I did, obviously, but if I did, like, if that did happen at some point, in the future, I mean, would you be like mad at me, or would you feel like that I like betrayed you or something like that?
Sale will cross his arms and like lean back and think for a moment. I kind of thought I was special. I thought I was going to be the only guy who was friends with, him. But I guess, like, if anyone else was going to be in it with me, I think I would want it to be you, Archie.
Well, what you will think. Listen, there might have been this one. It was. You have to understand, okay? I wasn't being. That night when we fought at that house and I ran away in fear, you remember that?
Yeah. I think a
That's-
few people ran away too.
Yeah, it's. I got really, like, my entire body was afraid, and I ran as fast as I could, and I don't understand, this has never happened to me before, and I left you guys, and all of you, John, even Magic Man could have died because I ran away. And you don't do that to your crew, right?
Did you choose to run away? Did you freak out? What happened?
I don't know what happened. Just I felt like I was gonna die immediately if I didn't start running right that instant. So I just ran. And I
heard a doctor talk about this once. I think it's a panic attack or something. I think
panic. That sounds like some weak landlubber shit that someone like me doesn't want to associate with.
no.
Regardless of what it was, I left you guys to die, my crew, and it was the night later, and I was just feeling so down, and I think I'd been drinking too, and I was
As
sitting
Archie's
out on.
talking, I'll step forward and give him a hug, and I'll say, "It's okay. I get afraid sometimes too. But we're in this together, brother. You can tell me what happened."
I just never wanted to be afraid like that again. I never wanted to leave you guys to die like that, and I was just sitting out on the beach, and I actually will think really hard, and I wasn't really doing anything, but I saw this squid come up in the sea, and I was like, "Hey, what was that? That looks weird. I've never seen that." So I swam out to it, and it kept going away, and I swam after it, and eventually I dove down to follow it. It was this squid, and it like swam into my mouth and talked to me and asked me if I never wanted to be afraid again. And I wasn't gonna lie, right? I didn't never want to be afraid again, so I said yeah, and then it asked me to be. It said like, well, it had this like creepy, deep voice, right? It was like, "Will you be mine?" And I was like, yeah, sure. And then it disappeared in me, and it swam back to shore. And I don't know. I don't know what's going on now.
Oh. I think you met, and I'll whisper like really quietly, I think you met Roy.
I think.
And I think maybe, because I think when I was at my darkest moment before I died, I think that's when he chose to help me. And I think you had that dark moment, and now he's
Yeah.
helping you.
Yeah.
So I think we're both now servants of him, and I think that means we're on a different level from Nilrim and Winters.
We're like brothers, kind of, right?
That's right, brothers of the sea. I'll reach my hand
Yeah.
out to shake Archie's hand.
Well, Sale, I don't think what makes a man special is who he follows or where he comes from. What makes a man special is if he knows how he knows his way around a boat and how he can help his crew. And you've been a good crewmate all the way through. You've been loyal, you've been good, and I think that makes you special, regardless of how many people the ocean guy, talks to.
Thanks, Archie. I'm gonna Sale is very close to crying because he's always just wanted to be accepted and complimented by a friend.
I'll give him a hug, real nice, bear hug, lift him up. Hey, don't you go crying on me, okay? That's not. There's enough salt water out there. We don't need any in here, okay?
I wipe my hands. I'm like, "You're right, Archie. You're right." And I think that's more or less the whole conversation that I wanted to have.
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
Okay.
Oh, I had one small question. I can reverse a lot of spells. Could I reverse call lightning to become a lightning rod? So if someone else casts it, I catch it. Something to think about. If I were able to do that, because then if I got a way to resist lightning, I could make the ship. If we're outnumbered, I could reverse the spell and tank it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Interesting. I will look into that.
Okay. That's everything.
Excellent. The next day, our party is going to set out. And who are we going to take with us on this journey? Are we just going to take the core people, or are we going to take the newcomers as well?
Take a few people, right? Maybe James.
Yeah, we can
Real
bring
quick,
James.
I Omega zoned out earlier. Where are we going now?
We're hunting for ships.
We're hunting
Got
for
it.
ships.
Yeah. Okay.
Just bring James. He can be with Winters. He can be Winters' bodyguard.
Sounds good. Yeah.
Right. So we're going to take these ones. I'm going to put a James over here. We're going to take a Sail with us. And this is going to be who sets out today.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
Oh, wait, we get Wiley and make sure he's back.
Oh, yeah. You can retrieve Wiley. He talks fondly of listening to the sounds and seeing the
Anything
people.
happen
And
with the kids?
Oh, yeah, we should probably talk about this.
Based.
Where's the appropriate?
That lady's gonna be tried for murder.
Lad. Kids, I forgot to tell you when I came back. Probably should have said something to you right away.
What
You
is
know
it?
that orphanage where who else is here for this conversation? Is just the two of you? You
Yeah, I
checks.
think he'd just probably have the captain and himself, the people who know about it right now.
Just the three of you then. Okay.
Yeah.
That orphanage where you snagged the whippersnappers from. Well, apparently a couple of the kids got to look out a window while you were talking to them, and I got a good look at you.
Me?
And
No.
then there's the teacher and the mom, and they got a good look at you too. And some bright
I
person
was
in town.
disguised, by the way.
You were totally disguised, but they got to look at
Yeah,
whatever
just
your
like that.
disguised was.
Yep.
And the smart people in town put two and two together. A strange man asking about children, and then children going disappearing. And they're real concerned. Brought it up to
Townsfolk?
Oh yes, the townsfolk, the nobles, the the regular people. They brought it up to the White Prince's ship with the Inquisitor that was out there in the ocean, and they were hopping mad. The Inquisitor did not particularly like that someone was targeting the White Prince's potential acolytes. Had a whole bunch of words to say throughout town about it. Very unhappy like. Put down a circle of truth and started dragging witnesses within it, asking them all sorts of questions. Any man who's remotely looked like you, sir. Anyone out your height and weight was pulled in, questioned. I think you might have drawn their attention and their ire a little bit. Ain't nobody goes after the children that could be the White Princes without the White Prince paying attention and noticing. And, well... I don't know what to tell you, sir.
You
I
hear that,
couldn't-
Nilren?
No, I'm just smiling from ear to ear.
Another pile of shit you've got us all in.
So he's upset.
Oh, Inquisitor was hopping mad. He was, swearing this oath and that oath, and by his stare, he'll find this person. If it takes him 1,000 years, if he has to live his whole life as a zombie looking for you, he'll come after you. It was,
Well,
I
this
think
is
you've-
concerning. Starting to think that maybe a bit of a proactive solution might be for the best here. If this Inquisitor's got it out for us, maybe we should nip that problem in the bud. I know there'll only be more after that, but at least it'll put this one to rest.
Give it a
Plus-
few weeks, Captain, before when he's probably
Yeah.
on high
Yeah, yeah.
alert.
Well, we'll go out. We'll be gone for a while, especially if we're going to Weatherlight. But by the time we get back, especially if we got a new ship, it wouldn't be the worst thing in the world to get a look at whatever documents he's got inside that little hut of his. Get a hold of his helmet, find out how it actually works.
Oh, not that Inquisitor, sir. The other one. The one that was on the ship. The Grand Inquisitor who's looking around for the children. That was the one. Granted.
Inquisitor.
Aye. The Inquisitor in Port Ferris was angry too, but it was the one going around interviewing the children that swore the oaths and claimed he would burn the world down searching for him.
How does an Inquisitor become a Grand Inquisitor? Is he some sort of... Does it make him more powerful, or is he just...
Well, I think you can take the White
Pirate
Prince's
From the
cock
Island.
all the way down in your throat instead of just in the mouth.
Yeah.
Ah.
And take the whole thing.
Aye. I think you just
No.
put your nose all the way up his ass instead of just part way.
All right. Well,
You
thank
get
you.
what I'm
Riley.
saying, though. I feel like we could kill one of the Inquisitors on the island, but this Grand Inquisitor fellow, we
He's
expect
throwing
him to be
around
more of a
ring
trouble.
circles of truth. It's gonna be a big issue, Captain.
Is it? How come?
I think that's an incredibly high level spell. You'd have to ask Sail.
Hmm.
All right, let's get out of here then.
All right.
Keep it to your chest, Wiley. Don't go telling people that.
Okay, wait, Norm. We need to keep it quiet on Flotsam for the foreseeable future. We can't have them
Agreed.
working out that this is where we're based because one of
I
these
agree.
days we're going to come back to this place burnt down and everyone's heads on pikes.
No one would expect us. It's truly the smartest idea, Captain. No one would expect us to shit where we live, and we kind of just shit where we live.
Yeah,
By
that would
doing
be
that.
stupid. Yeah, you're right.
But it's so stupid that it worked.
Yeah, not yet. It doesn't.
We'll see if it works. Before we leave, Nilram pays a visit to the guy in the
Sharpay, your accountant? No?
yeah, that person.
Yeah.
And he's gonna do a little light torture and put the symbol of Bonos on the ground and tell Wiley to do it every day. And yeah.
Oh, a bit suffering Sharpay's in for. Old Wiley's an old hat at that. Come here, Sharpay. How many You still got all your fingers? Oh, well, let's take our time then. No need to burn through them this quickly. Now, where did I put that candle? And he walks around for a while looking for his candle.
That's good.
And into the boat our pirates go, and out to sea to the north beyond the outer rim, and you go looking for trouble, looking for enemies, looking for ships to steal.
That's it.
Mm-hmm.
Hell.
All right. Give me a navigation check, Mr. Nilrum, to get the party to the right zone where that main shipping line is. Oh, nat 20.
Oh.
Yeah. Oh, I'm just fuck.
The dice are on our side.
Damn.
All right. It takes you 3 days. Well, it takes you like a day and a half to get there. So let's see. We probably spent the 14th chilling. Oh, you also needed to repair your ship here before we left, right? Because you're missing some of your oarlocks and there's damage to the sides.
Oh, right. Yeah,
Right.
we didn't have that conversation.
Yeah, but I think it's
I
just a
think I
matter of
briefly told you about it.
repairs.
Okay.
Yeah, we can just fix it.
So we'll just add a few days of time.
How long have we been here now? Because I might make another.
3, 4, 5
Token
days.
of the- Do we want to
you
wait
guys-
another 2 days and I'll try for a token?
But
Of the
token,
miniature ship in the
do you
bottle?
mean that? Yeah, okay, sure.
All right, we
Actually,
wait an
you
extra
would have
2
been
days.
here for
Oh,
an extra 2 days because you arrived before the other people did. So you don't even
Here's
need to
my
wait any
wisdom
longer.
check for it because I'm gonna try it in a week. Yep, it hits.
Nice. Another ship in the bottle. Please
Cool. We got
report
3
it.
of them.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah, it's really good.
All right. So repairs. They are minor. You have a proficiency in shipbuilding, Archie.
He's got a shipwright proficiency. Yeah.
Yeah.
Shipwright. Yeah.
Perfect. Then you don't need to make any checks for this level of repairs in this amount of time. And then it is a day and a half out to the shipping lanes. That brings you out there on the 20th of March. And you sit out in the water, hoping that something good will come your way. On the second day, you see a small cargo ship coming by. Now, this ship is not particularly great for sailing. It's not particularly fast. It has, a smallish crew size that you would need. It has some decent cargo space, but it's definitely one of these like slow, bumbling, clunky little vessels. Not anything that you would want for piracy, unless you were trying to like disguise yourself as a shitty little cargo ship.
As much as I'd like to just rob every ship that passed us,
Yeah.
we don't want to get like what happened to Starbuck, right?
Yep.
Before we can find what we want. So let's just keep our cool here. Obviously, if like an expensive but slow-looking ship comes past, we might rob it just for the gold, but we're not gonna pillage every little ship that comes past.
Should we just put our flag up, ask them what they have?
I just don't
Oh,
think
fuck
we
it.
should
Yeah,
draw
I agree,
attention.
yeah. Okay.
Yeah. As they come onto the horizon, you notice that they take a nice wide berth around the ship that's just sort of like anchored out in the middle of nowhere. They steer around you. In fact, the ocean here is deep enough that your anchor won't even hit the shore, so you're having to like constantly like row yourself back in the right direction, and then as the currents and the winds blow you, then you row back to the same spot, or sort of row in an orbit around the area. The seas here are too deep for your small ship to anchor. But 2 days later, 3 days later, I'm sorry, a worthy ship comes into view. Yeah. This appears to be some sort of maybe like a disused military vessel, or it's a clipper ship that you would be looking for. It's got 3 masts with 3 sails all the way up and down them. It's got a nice long deck. It's probably the right thing in all the quantities. But like that cargo ship, as soon as it comes into view on the horizon, it like deviates. It doesn't go towards you. In fact, it wasn't like headed towards you to begin with. It was sort of heading in the direction of you, but a few miles off. And you can see that as it sees you, it like starts to take a wide berth around.
That's
your
not weird
ship.
though, because we would probably do the same for another ship.
Yeah, if you're looking,
Let's
if
zoom
you're
towards
trading things, or you're looking for looking to move stuff, and you don't want to deal with people on the seas, you just go around the ships, and it's not that big of a deal.
I asked the captain if we can start.
Yeah, well, I've spotted it with my eyeglass. There, Dilmer, look, it's perfect. I hand you the spyglass.
No,
That's my
what?
ship. Ah, God, I can
And-
see it now. I can feel the feather bed.
We'll start moving as
All
quickly
right.
as we can.
Pull up the anchor, James. Let's go.
And off in the direction of the ship we go. Now they are trying to avoid you, right? They don't want to be caught by you in any way, shape, or form. And so you guys are going to have to make an opposed set of dice rolls. But I think Sale was about to say something before I interrupted.
Captain, would you like me to start casting Call Lightning if we need it?
I don't think we need to destroy the ship sail,
All right.
so probably not.
Might make them surrender faster, but okay.
Might, if they knew what it was.
All right. So we're going to do 2 things. You need to not only get your oars to be perfectly timed and perfectly synced, you need people on the sails able to quickly move them and furl them as needed, tilt them as needed, and you're going to need someone on the backside with a rudder who's able to properly navigate, steer you in the right directions. You're going to want to do like a zigzag motion because you sort of go kind of a little bit into the wind facing these people, and so you're going to want to kind of curve through that.
Do we get any bonuses for our magic rowers? Being able to
Magic
go
rowers will allow
forever?
Archie to use his check for the entire crew, and just allow one person to power the whole thing, but it's not going to give you any additional bonus on top of that.
Is that what we want? One check?
No, we're going to
Well,
want
what are the-
a series of checks.
Oh.
We're going to want Archie's check for the oars. We're going to want someone's check for the sails, and we're going to want someone's check for the rudder. It does take 3 people to properly do the sails, though. And there's 4 of you, and you need 1 drummer and 1 steerer. Leaves 2 people for the sails. So we're going to have to do... check at disadvantage for not having
I'm
enough
confused.
people
We've
for the sail.
never.
Well, we've never chased down a ship like this on the open seas before. This is a entirely new type of approach. In the past, either you've just been faster or slower, and there's been no question. But out here, Out here, your ships are almost evenly matched, and it's going to be up to the skill of the sailers in
Sorry,
order to outrun
us?
each other.
Out of game, didn't know that we would need another person for like the sails. Can we have brought someone?
Yeah.
Because I think our whole goal was to catch someone.
Yeah, that's
wasn't-
fine. If
Okay.
you
I
want, you would have
Bring
been aware
my
of this.
apprentice. I was going to
Sure.
suggest it, but I just didn't.
Bring her. Mary Beth or Shoshana? I don't remember.
I think it's Mary Beth,
Yeah.
the 2 HP person.
Yep. All right. Maribeth is here.
Okay. Thank you.
And you have James as well, so you do have a
Yeah.
person, but these are, slightly inferior sailors. So I'm going to want 1 seamanship for the sails, 1 seamanship for the rower, and a seamanship for the steerer.
Okay, and who wants to roll?
Yeah.
I'll roll.
Or
Pokemon
which
challenges
one?
and potato. I don't know. What do you want? What is Archie rolling for? I'm asking Koibu, I guess, because Archie's doing one thing.
Archie's rowing. So his
Okay, so he's
seamanship
rolling
check
for the
will be for the rowers. Let's see it, Archie. Great roll.
Pass. Then we need the sails and the what's the other one?
And the
Who's on the-
steering. So
Yeah,
the
who's on the
sails
tiller?
are going to be the 2 of you that are one of the 2 of the people in charge of the sails can do it. Then 1 person has to be in charge of steering. Captain
The
John, do you
captain's
have a-
probably steering.
Yeah.
Yeah, wait.
Yep.
You say sails. We don't have sails, do we?
Yeah, you do.
We have 1 mast.
Look at
Okay.
the boat.
We've just never needed to use them in
Yeah.
like
Oh,
a
yeah, I
chase
guess,
situation before.
All right.
What do you
also
need me to roll?
do you need to roll seamanship.
Oh, no problem. Can do that easily.
Nice.
Excellent.
And sail, do you want to roll it, or do you want me to?
I'll roll it.
Nice.
I thought the ghosts also did the rigging. I guess I was wrong.
No, they do
No, they're
1
just-
job.
Rowing.
Rowing. They row. And Sail got a 25. These are great rolls. Okay. This ship over here got great sailing power. And their sailors are fantastic. They have literally nothing in the way of rowers, though. Boat is not accompanied by that, so they don't get any rowing bonuses. And their navigator, their helmsman, I should say, their pilot. It's a 5, 7. Alright, now we're map. Over here.
Keep in mind, we can go forever too.
Yes.
They're gonna be
Um,
making con checks.
Well, since they're not rowing, they can go forever as well, right? Their limit
Oh,
is going to
true.
be
Yeah.
their sailors.
We're just faster, I think, on the outside. Yeah.
Yeah, on the outside you're faster because you've got the you can go against the current pretty well, and you also can go with it. And the wind on the outside of their dens is like a little bit less blustery than what it is here. So you begin to make chase after this vessel. And do you raise any flags? Do you have any communication with them on your way?
Captain?
Yeah, I mean, I think whilst we're chasing them, we could say drop your anchor if you want to live. Short to the point. We should also raise our flag.
Yeah, true.
They raise a series of little messages on their little message cable that says "Wizard on board, stay back." Now, this is could easily be a bluff. This is a go-to. We've got a wizard. Don't come after us. Message. Is it something you can trust?
Nope.
I think
'cause
it-
we got
I
a
think
wizard too.
I don't think it matters as long as they don't fireball our boat. We should be fine.
Ask him what level he is.
How long of a message can we send?
Well, in theory, you can send as long of a message as you want. It just takes a while, right? You can like send up like 12 flags and then wait for them to read them just by like waiting 20 minutes, a couple of minutes, then taking them down and sending it up again. It's just a slow form of communication.
Okay. We reply, we don't believe your boasts. Surrender, and I guarantee you will survive.
Does it look like we're gaining?
No, it doesn't. Right now, because it's still early on in the chase.
Okay.
You don't seem to be gaining on them at all. You tell them to surrender, and you guarantee they won't die.
If Sail's not busy, I get him to start casting Call Lightning.
Sail. You climb down off the mast. You speak the words to the Call Lightning spell. You can feel a tingling in your toes, but it's sort of like, it's like you're riding a bicycle, but the tires aren't pumped up enough. You go to cast Call Lightning, and if you can feel the magic, and you can see the storm, the clouds above kind of turn a little bit, and,
Snowstorm.
it's just not...
It's not stormy
It's not
enough.
calling.
Performance anxiety.
No, it's not. It's not that it's not stormy enough overhead. It's like the source of your magic is just too far away for you to really reach. It's like it's like deflated. It's
Maybe it is a dragon, Nick.
it's just sort of limp, sort of flaccid.
I'll say to the captain, Captain, I don't think the storm is strong enough here for me to cast Call Lightning.
All right.
Or
Well,
that, or I just can't reach my power at the moment.
that's fine. Let's catch them. They'll wish they surrendered.
They'll surrender, Captain.
Could I
you-
instead cast Moment to help? Or am I needed on
Absolutely.
the sails?
Yeah. You go to cast Moment, and that same sort of just like weak, powerless feeling fills you. It's like you're calling to someone who's like on the other side of a thick door, and they're not really talking to you, or you're not really able to hear them. It's like riding a bike with low tires, or skating
Okay.
on ice that's too thin. You're hitting the concrete below.
I will go back to what I was doing.
You guys mostly keep pace with this group. You've got the drums, though, so you can keep this pace for a long time. And your navigators, your sailors, are all good enough that you can sort of keep going with them. But you're not really gaining too quickly on them. They seem to be able to cut away from you fast enough that you're... How long do you want to chase them is what I'm getting at
We
here.
give chase. The second the wind changes, they're fucked.
Yeah, we're forever.
You're in it. You'll chase them for days, is what I'm hearing. Excellent. And that's what happens. You chase them all day long. Hours
We're gonna get 'em now.
pass. And soon, eventually, the sun begins to set. You guys are way off course now. Gods know where the fuck in the ocean you are. They were headed to the east, and now you're all way, way to the north, like at least 3/4 of a day northward as the sun
No one
begins
knows
to
where he is.
set. Now, when the sun sets, you're going to lose sight of that vessel. If there's no lights running on it, there's not going to be any way to know where it is. How are you going to pursue them? And this is something you've got time to think about, right? You're not in any great peril right now. How are you going to pursue after the sun sets? Is it even possible?
Can we ever get close enough to cast like light on the ship?
You are keeping relatively the same pace with them. You are still miles away. I don't think any of your spells have a range of miles.
No.
Yeah, I'm struggling to think how we would follow them through the night. But we do have a very intelligent wizard, so I'm sure he'll have a good plan. Obviously, I've got plans, but I'm role-playing. Yeah.
Out of character, I don't have any. I don't know if you want to give an 18 at somebody, maybe an idea.
All right, Nick's got some ideas.
We need to put a beacon on that ship, really, don't we?
I have beacon. I just can't place it there. It's touch.
Yeah.
Could we gamble on predicting which way they'll turn?
Well, they're going with the wind, right? So we just follow the wind.
Okay.
Seems fine. Do you have light sail?
I can try. I think my powers are weak this far from the dead drowned one.
Oh, that is an interesting concept. Never heard of a cleric say that before.
You know what? I've never been a cleric who did that before. I'm not really sure how this works. All I know is I'm having trouble.
I give Nilrim a look that says, maybe your friend was right.
We'll give you like a smile, yeah.
All right. You guys are going to take a guess. You're going to go in the direction that the wind blows the
wind.
hardest and hope that you can either catch up to them or spot them in the night, or at least that you go in the same direction, and when the sun rises, you can see them.
Yeah.
He wants to like keep looking through the eyeglass, or he wants the captain to keep looking through the eyeglass the entire time to like, just like the way that they went. I don't know if there's any. Maybe someone will show a light, you know.
Yeah, I mean, if there's a moon, there might be like a glinting or something like that.
Depends on the moon. Depends on the stars above.
Yeah.
Yeah. Depends where we're at.
Yesterday was the new moon, so it is hella dark right now.
Yeah.
Plus, there's some clouds overhead. We were trying to cast Call Lightning, so the storm above was not letting a lot of moonlight through. But we wait, sun goes down, you pick your direction, and you row hard. Captain, with the spyglass, there is a non-zero chance that you're going to be able to like catch a distant star that dips behind a sail and then reemerges on the other side if you scan the horizon well enough. It is theoretically possible, but I'm going to need a really good perception check from you with this. I'm going to need a 35 from you.
Okay. All right. Well, I've got 8 perception, so it's unlikely.
Well, maybe a natural 20 will do it. You know,
go for the 20. Okay.
you do catch sails in the distance at night,
come
but it is the wrong thing. A natural one you have rolled, and the captain mistakes one thing for another. You row hard into the night, getting a little bit turned around. At first, it seems like the ship is veered to the left, and after maybe 15 minutes of that, it seems like it's gone leftward again, and it's somehow like curving all the way around. And eventually, you realize you've gotten lost, or you've lost the ship in the night.
Hang on. Can I roll an intelligence check to see how quickly I might cotton on that this is a different ship? Because I am expecting them to go with the wind. If this other ship is in like the opposite direction, I'm wondering, like, you know, how can
That's fair.
they're a sail ship? I feel like I should be able to roll an in check, and the better I do, the sooner I catch on.
Okay.
It's not. Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go.
Natural 20.
I work it out pretty quickly.
Yeah.
You work it out immediately.
God damn.
It seemed to go to the left, and then it was way too far to the left. There's no way the ship could move that quickly in that amount of time. You clearly must have fumbled your rolls, fumbled your observations, or maybe they pulled down their masts so as not to be spotted this way. You are not going in the completely wrong direction, but you still don't know where this other ship is. So I'm just going to roll some dice and see if we get lucky. In fact, why don't we have you guys roll the dice?
We're following the wind, though, so if they're following the wind, then we should find them. Otherwise, then you can say it's random.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. The sun comes up hours later, and you scan the horizons all around, only to find nothing but open sea. The ship has eluded you in the night. They did not go this direction. They went some other direction, or they went here and then curved somewhere else, or whatever it was, you've lost them. You've lost them out at sea. It's the problem with chasing down really good, fast ships, is that they're really hard to catch.
All right, we'll get one.
All
We need
right.
to make our way back to where we were.
Nilrim the Navigator's got that easily.
Okay.
Yeah. Give us another navigation check, Nilrim.
29.
29 is fine. All right, back to your spot.
Yeah.
You spend the day going back. You rotate so Archie can sleep since he's been drumming all night. And let's see when the next time a ship comes by. So that was all that day. This day spent returning to your place. 1 day passes, no ships. The next day passes, and you do see a small vessel coming along. It's not the sort of ship that you'd want to capture. It looks like a really large fishing boat of some kind, maybe like a small whaling vessel. And it is coming in from the east under the power of wind and no sails.
Well, I mean, I don't think we're interested in a fishing ship.
No whaling vessels?
No.
No. I guess I'll ask the captain to look at it with his eyeglass. Does he spot any sense of wealth on the ship?
I mean, even if you were rich, you wouldn't bring it with you on a whaling ship, would you? Probably not.
You can
Could be a
see some
disguise.
good working soldiers on the vessel who are, what do you call it? Muscle clad with torn open shirts, hoisting sails, dropping down cages into the water and hauling them back up, throwing out nets behind the boat and pulling them in. They appear to be doing, some sort of crab trapping or some sort of fishing, some other actions in addition to their whaling. And they're taking their time. They'll sail for a little while and then pause and then drop some nets and some traps and then, hoist things and sail again. These ones don't really go out of their way to avoid you. They're sort of just doing their business.
No riches to be looted on there, Norm. These are hardworking men. They don't deserve us ruining their day.
Okay. That was whalers. Next day, there's no sign of anything. We get some water music up here.
We're ready to be out here for weeks.
Yeah, you're ready to be out here for weeks. So what's happening on the ship while you're out here for weeks? What is like the daily life like? Archie, what are you doing out in the open ocean when you're not drumming? How do you entertain yourself on this relatively small vessel with your 5 other people? There's not
Who
a sense of
did we
privacy.
take along?
James
and yeah.
Who's the other one? James and
Mary Beth.
Shauna. Oh, Mary Beth. Sorry.
Mary Beth is the one who didn't join the fight club, right?
Right.
She's too weak.
So I guess I'm spending a lot of time training with John Brophy.
James.
Sorry, James. Yeah. No, he was in the fight club, right? James.
I think so.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So we're training a lot, teaching him to punch, all that good stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, I'm hanging out, enjoying my time on the sea. I'm used to being out on the open sea, being bored. I just like looking out on the sea, feeling the waves underneath me. It fills me with just content, just being that way. Either laying downstairs in the bed or being out on the deck, making sure everything's clean, everything's nice, everything's going on nicely, drumming when I can, and just having a good old time singing sea shanties and talking to the captain and sail as well, and avoiding Nilrim a little bit.
Great. Avoiding Nilrim a little bit. Okay.
Yeah.
Why don't you give me a wisdom check for your teaching of James, and I'll give him an intelligence check for his learning from you. He's learning, but you're teaching. Maybe it's the rocking of the ocean is making it a little bit hard on this narrow boat. The narrowness of the boat does lead it to rocking a little bit. You get some good practice in, but it's not enough to move him forward in any skill levels or anything. What about sail? What are you doing out here in your time on the vessel?
Most of the time, I'm feeling incredibly vulnerable and antisocial because I have lost contact with my source of power. So I'm like trying to avoid people, not talk to them. I spend a little bit of time with Mary Beth, like talking about bandaging wounds. I'm like, hey, look, this is how you if somebody cuts their hand like this, you put the bandage the way you wouldn't think to put it because that puts tension on the wound. And it's like little things like that. But otherwise, I'm avoiding people. I'll respond to people, but I'm kind of, wistfully staring out into the water and hoping that we can go back to the Dardanelles soon.
Nilrum, how do you spend your time out here on the open waters?
Nilrum's teaching these losers how to actually use the shit. He's mad at them because that's why we lost the other ship. It's because they didn't know what the fuck they were doing.
James and Mary Beth. Useless, dead weight. Got it. Why don't you give me a wisdom check versus their intelligence checks to see if they can make any progress in their skills? Well, maybe not this time around.
Fine.
I shouldn't say versus, but like with their checks. Mary Beth is an eager learner. James has no patience for this sailing shit. He's a fighter in his heart of hearts, and all this like climbing up and down and tying knots and looping things and coiling things. He doesn't care. He's not a great learner. Mary Beth wants to learn, but not yet. And Captain James, not James, John, what are you doing with your time?
There's a tried and tested activity that pirates all across both the fictional world and the real world partook in to pass the time out on the open sea. I'll give you 2 guesses, Neil, as to what it could be.
Blowing each other.
Okay, that's not it. No, that's not it. You've got it. It's getting pissed. We drink the rum, we sing the songs. We slap each other on the back, and 99 bottles of rum on the wall. 99 bottles of rum.
So does that mean you're drunk when a ship comes into view?
No, because a good captain knows not to get too drunk.
Good captain pulls it together,
I'm drunk, but I'm not too drunk.
Okay, you're riding that line that we're just enough
The
alcohol
perfect line. Just drunk enough. Exactly.
All right. Well, can you give me a con check, Captain? How do you ride? How closely can we ride this line?
Well, just drunk enough implies that I already passed the con check, but I can roll one for you if it makes you feel better. Shit.
Yeah, it's just drunk enough. It's perfect.
Yeah.
And that's when, 5 days later, I think it is, on the 1st of April, a ship comes into view. And not one of these, like, shitty whaling ships or these shitty cargo ships, but another one of these, like, large, fast-sailing ships. This one might be laden with cargo. It might be laden with all sorts of treasures. I mean, it could also just be moving people or animals or whatever, but it could be filled with gold.
Is it a clipper?
It's one of these. That's what we're looking for. It's one of these 3-masted clipper ships that are coming by. It's got a couple of decks on there. There's no room for oars, but you might be able to modify it. It's got someone up in the crow's watch who's clearly spotted you with their own little spyglass. They probably spotted you before you spotted them. Their masts are so high.
All right, I see it with the spyglass. By Martha's benevolent bosom, raise the anchor. There's one there. Let's go.
Captain, maybe we should lay a trap rather than give chase. I don't think we're fast enough. Maybe we could pretend to be in distress and in need of assistance. Any ship that sees a boat like this with only 5 people on it wouldn't be surprised that we need help.
A wise thought, Sale. Perhaps we might be able to get them closer by doing that. All right, raise the flags for help.
The flags go up saying, help me. Or what?
Yeah.
What is specifically? You
Mayday. Or distress, or
I require a tug, the Zulu flag.
That's the flag I put to your mom every night.
Yes. You signal to them that there's something wrong with your ship. And they will continue sort of in their direction, across the shipping lane, and they will throw up the flags asking, what is the problem?
Ship, Sale, what's the problem?
Pirate attack. Barely escaped. Like we were attacked. How do we?
Yeah.
Foxtrot, I am disabled.
Wait, what if... Yeah, our ship is disabled.
How are you gonna back that up visually? Because they're gonna be able to inspect your ship for, even if they come right for you, it'll still take them better part of an hour to get here. That's plenty of
What's the thing
time to
under the ship
observe.
that like moves it. The keel.
The keel, yes.
Yeah, that's something that they couldn't see, correct?
Yeah, Kale's fucked.
Mm.
Nice thinking, Nora.
Excellent. Well, keel's fucked, you fly. Excellent. Let's do a benevolency check. Are these people good
like
Samaritans who will
salesmen.
come on out
Sorry.
here and help you out? Are they honest folk?
Obviously.
So we want KL1.
That didn't. Oh, 2d6 kill 1.
Yeah. This is what we want. Okay. These people are nice. These are good old sailors. Every ship on the sea needs a little help every now and then, and if sailors don't stick together, they all die. So they aim for you and make haste in your direction.
Nilorm will go up to Sail and give him a head rub. Tell him that he's a genius. Maybe even almost as smart as he is.
Oh, nice. No rum. Not sure if I feel clean after you've touched me, knowing what those hands have done, but I appreciate the gesture.
Sail, may I remind you that you massacred a whole mountain town and writ with all their blood everywhere.
That's true. That was a good time.
How many children were there again?
No, neither of you know about the children.
Yeah, you guys don't know about the children. I haven't told you yet.
Yeah.
Right. Well, this ship is coming straight for you guys. One of the problems that you're facing here is that they're much bigger ship. You know, they sit much higher out of the water than you do. And so what's happening on deck is a little bit hard to see because that the bulkhead that comes up on the side gets in the way of you really like counting the number of crew on deck. They've got a crow's nest way up top of their big mast, and so they can look way down on you and see everything that's happening on your ship. But their ship and what's on it is a bit of a mystery to you. I will allow one person to make a perception check with a spyglass to see if you can't get some information about their complement, which means the crew and all the sailors and all that jazz. Who wants to do it?
My perception sucks, so if somebody with better perception than 8 wants to do it, then feel free. If no one's that much better, then I'll just roll it because it probably is
12.
9.
Mine is also 12.
I'll just do it.
I'll let Archie have a look.
Yeah,
Archie's
you
got
guys can
those
see the
dice.
captain's a little bit drunk. He's like,
Yeah.
got the spyglass backwards. He's like, it's really far away. I don't know what's going on. And Archie can snag it.
Alright,
Oh, yeah, it's you can't really make out any details. I don't know. There's some people on the boat. Definitely some. It's
Fine.
not. It's not until it gets really close. Not until it's maybe 100 yards out that you can make out the details.
Okay, if you're gonna say it was a white prince ship, we should have seen the flags.
Oh, it's
before
not a
then.
white prince ship. No way. You
Okay,
can see
thank
it's
you.
flying
Alright.
flags of some family, some household that you've never heard of from a foreign land.
Yep,
you
that's
you don't
fine.
give two shits about it. But as the ship approaches you, you can see that up on the foresail and the aftsail, there are archers. There's maybe like 12 people up there with bows. Not drawn and notched, like not ready to shoot at you, but these people are taking precautions. They have some sort of military folk on board. And the ship will get a little bit closer and a little bit closer. And at what point are you all going to act? What is
Well,
the...
if we
Get
can-
on their ship.
Yeah, if we can get
When they
invited
let
on
us,
board.
yeah.
Ah,
When we're in, do we get within shouting range or?
they
Although
will...
no, probably not because of the sea.
Yeah, they're going to
But I want to send a message saying that we need water and can we come aboard?
I'm gonna tell no, I guess I won't. Never mind.
Right. They will get pretty close to you, maybe 30 yards away from you, just far enough out in the water that your two ships aren't going to bump into each other, and you've got enough time to maneuver should things get bad. And they will launch a small skiff you can see them hoist a barrel down onto it, and 4 people will row over towards you. There's a well-to-do officer.
I whisper to the captain before they get here. That's the person that we capture.
Her brown hair is back in like a long flowing ponytail that like flaps in the breeze behind her. She's got a rapier at one side and like a what do you call it, like a doublet, a padded doublet on.
Is there like a family crest ring on her or anything?
Oh yeah, there's a what do you call it, there's a large turtle emblazoned across the front of her doublet. And the other 3 people in the boat, 2 of them are rowing and the third person is like holding onto some cargo, and the 4 of them are coming over towards you.
Okay, I turn to Nora. I say to him, just, Nora, don't do anything stupid, all right? We'll get our chance if this doesn't work.
No, I'm nods. I won't do anything stupid, Captain.
I will, I stand 1 foot on the edge of my ship, my hat off and held at my chest, waiting for these people to land.
No, lightning bolts. No, I'm just kidding.
She calls out, "Ahoy there!" as the little skiff gets close enough.
Ah! By the gods' graces, are we happy to see you?
Is she hot?
Martha has blessed us.
This could
Pray
be.
tell, my savior, what is your name?
This could be big, Koibu.
Yeah. 15 hotness.
Shit.
It's a gorgeous woman.
I will
at the prow of her boat.
preventatively, put my arm around Nilrim, as we've discussed before during
Yeah,
political
Norman isn't doing
encounters.
anything. He's good.
Yeah,
He'll-
yeah,
he'll be
just
like,
making
"Archie,
sure
Archie,
he's
I'm
not doing
good, I'm
anything.
good."
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I'm sorry, John. What'd you say?
Well, now knowing that she's 15 hotness, I will say, ahoy there! Do the trials of my current predicament blind me? Or are you not the most beautiful woman I have ever set my eyes upon? Please, you must help us. We are stranded. Our ship is damaged.
You surely have been dehydrated if you think I am the most gorgeous woman you've ever set your eyes on. Stand back, captain of this small vessel. Let us see if we can help. And they'll pull their little skiff up. It'll bump into yours. Quickly, someone will toss a rope over so you can, like, pull it close. And she will climb aboard, her sword, her saber, like, winging around the deck. Two of the other three sailors, or rowers over there, start to hoist a barrel that looks like it's full of water towards your ship. And with a little bit of help, you can pull it aboard. Is this the moment of betrayal? Or...
not yet.
No, God, no.
I say to her, praise be, thank you for the water. You may have saved our lives.
Are you the captain of
think
this mighty vessel?
No, I'm just sergeant at arms. And Nadinus, she is a salty bitch. She deprives us of the waters and the food that we need, keeps the wind still, and flounders us for days at a time. Oh.
Pray tell, our keel, it is fucked, as we have told you. You wouldn't happen to have a shipwright on board, would you?
She gazes around at the six of you.
Not on this ship, I mean on your vessel.
We do, but fixing a keel is no task for the open seas. You'll have to be tugged into shore. Now, we have a mission and a deadline. This won't be a free pull.
Of course, we can pay with coin.
Splendid.
Perhaps we could enjoy the fruits of your company on board your ship rather than sit here and be tugged. I will say that I've been stranded out here with this lot for far too long, and I could do with the pleasant company.
Her eyes sort of dart around to each one of you individually. She notes that you've got a sword at your side. Sail has a spear and a rapier somewhere. Probably a rapier at your side and a spear tucked away, so she doesn't notice the spear.
I think I've thrown the spear away at this point.
Yeah.
Because it's never been used.
Yeah. Archie, you're not wearing your brass knuckles, are you?
No.
That would be weird. Yeah. With keeping a low profile, James and Mary Beth don't have any weapons on them. So she sees, the two of you have swords, and then she looks at Nilrum and gazes him up and down. Who's this? A noble? You haven't introduced me.
Nilrim, introduce yourself.
I am Merlin. Gives her a nod.
You must
Fine,
not
chap.
be from Tide's End, then.
He gives her an inquisitive look. Tide's End?
She shakes it off. Spellcasters are nobles out in Tide's End. Each one of them appointed rank and nobility once they reach, and she at least points to your the bags around your waist, an appreciable level of power.
Afraid not, my first sergeants. We hail from Arcadia.
Where is Tide's End? Sounds like a wonderful place.
To the east, the great city, the Stormtide Kingdom. Surely you must have heard of us.
Has he?
Yeah,
think so.
you've heard of the Stormtide
okay.
Kingdom before. They're, one of those fancy, large, noble houses on the coast of Solemn, far to the east.
Oh, he nods. Okay, yeah.
Yeah. Well, she seems satisfied. You all seem pretty forthright and straightforward. So she's just going to make a quick judgment of all of your faces with a charisma check to kind of get a feel for you all. It's a pretty good charisma roll. It's actually
Feels
a
good
really
about it.
good charisma roll. There's something setting her off. You can't quite pin it, but it's clear on her face that there's something weird about this situation. And she has to take a look at your keel herself.
I can see you're nervous, but we have gold. I can pay up front if that's the concern here. I know we may look poor here, stranded, but we do have coin. And I'll reach in and I open a bag of gold coins.
I thought you said you were attacked by pirates.
I said no such thing. But I have been attacked by pirates in my day.
Didn't you fly
Many
the
a time.
flags that said we were attacked by pirates?
I said that we needed help. And that our keel was fucked. So, you got a chef on board?
We do. You'll have to leave your weapons and she looks at Nilram, spell components behind on this vessel, but we will allow you on board and hug this one behind. You'll have to negotiate prices with the captain himself.
Very well.
Herself, sorry.
Give us a moment to gather some supplies.
She stands aboard the deck. There's not much room for people to go, but you can do whatever you need.
I will draw my rapier and then go is it below deck where we keep all the stuff?
Most of the stuff is just kept on the top. There is a hatch that you can put stuff below, but it's really just the ballast, the rocks that you use to keep the boat at the right level in the water. There's not much room for storage on this ship. That's one of the drawbacks.
But
of
I
this
don't want our weapons to be going overboard, so I will put them under the deck.
Sure.
I'll take my rapier out and put it under there, and I'm crouching down and I turn back to the rest of the crew. All right, guys, swords, hand them over. And while I'm crouched down there moving around, I'm gonna slip one of my daggers into my my sock or my boot.
Excellent. All right, you managed to hide a dagger into your boot. Sail, you put your weapon away under the ship.
Yeah, I give my weapon to the captain.
Great. Archie.
I do suggest these spell components for our wizard are very expensive. Could we perhaps store them somewhere safely? No, okay, never mind.
We wouldn't want to abuse their hospitality.
Yeah.
Nilram, Melon,
Yeah,
get them down there.
Nilram, yeah. Nilram, aka Merlin, will leave all of his spell components. However, he can still cast Magic Missile because it's verbal and somatic. He can still. He's gonna try and still. As he goes down there, he's gonna slip a singular glass rod into his shoes. So he will be walking carefully, and if he fucks it up, he'll be walking on glass because it'll break it.
Glass rod is going to be a little bit hard to slip in, but it's probably doable.
No, I changed my mind. Norm slips in his ass.
I don't think there's room to take your pants down and put a glass rod up your ass.
It's downstairs. What do you mean?
There's no downstairs. There's no downstairs. There's a little patch that. There's a little
There's a
hatch that
hatch
you
to
can
go
lift
down.
and slide. No, there's no room below. It's the ship isn't tall enough for down below.
But
There's just
we
like
used to put a
You're
person
gonna
down
go
there
in.
now.
yeah, but the person was like
Laying down.
squished. They were like
You're gonna go in dry, no lubrication. You're gonna say that's easier than putting in your shoe.
Well, no, I'm
There's-
just afraid they're gonna check my shoes. All right, he'll keep it. in
yeah.
his
There's
shoe
only
then.
about like yay much space between.
I'm gonna
the
tell
deck
you
and
from
the
now
box.
on, though. Nilrim is gonna have a glass rod in his ass for any occasion that's needed. Okay.
It's going
Not
to
right
become
now.
very, very important anytime Nilrim slips and falls. Then
Okay.
Does the spell still work if the glass rod's dirty?
Absolutely. Why wouldn't it? It doesn't say anything about a pure glass rod. These are good rods too. These aren't like ones that are gonna break. Neil, this is something wizards are gonna have.
Surely you would make a glass rod necklace that looks decorative. that you
Yeah,
could
we'll
use.
figure it out.
I think
later.
the glass rods that you need are like proper rods. They're not like
Oh, I thought that they would be like this, like like this big and like have a bulb on the top. That's what I thought. I didn't think that they were. like this.
it's like a proper little rod. I'm not saying that you
Neil,
can't hide something up your butt
Hands,
like
please.
that.
Okay.
It's a proper rod.
We'll
Sorry,
talk about it. Yeah, we'll figure it out.
This
Um,
actually reminds me of the conversation I had with Nick's mom.
Oh, good one.
Was you talking about a proper rod compared to yours? Yeah.
You hide the rod in your boot. Archie,
Okay, thank
your
you.
brass knuckles. Where do they live?
Well, wait, that's not gonna work then. If it's a proper rod and you're talking like it's this big.
Yeah,
it's,
there's gonna be a chance that she'll notice it, or that you'll have to like walk funny. It's gonna be tough to hide it in your boot.
Okay, Nilrim is gonna hide it in his robe.
Okay,
I guess like in the underwear going down the leg.
got it. Okay,
I mean, like, fuck.
where do you keep your brass knuckles, Archie?
They're usually my like pockets.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like they're gonna check them.
Yeah, the pockets for like your loose pants are pretty obvious that there's something like heavy and bulky in your pockets right now.
You know what? Archie's pretty strong without the brass knuckles too. He's just gonna hand them over.
Great. All right, it all goes below the decks. Sail has managed
Wait,
to.
I need to show you where the rod is specifically.
Yeah. Show us.
It's gonna be like here, okay?
Right. Inside of the
Inside.
thigh. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Just in case.
Mm-hmm. It's where the cool people put their guns when they're walking around.
Nilrim's also got a big dick. Just a.
True, he does. We did roll for
He
that.
actually
yeah.
does.
Yeah.
Let me
That's
remind
Like a
you.
Pringles can.
Let me remind you of his size. It's gonna
No, it's
be
fine.
10
We-
inch. 10 inch.
That's
Well,
impressive.
I'm
rolled
assuming
for-
it's
we
correct,
rolled for that,
right?
too.
Is he a shower? Is he a grower? What's going on there?
He's a shower.
All right.
Thank you.
The two cannons in your pocket. The party can hop into the little skiff. The sergeant at arms will give a quick, glance over at you all, quick perception check just to make sure that, nothing is obviously stashed anywhere. The rod in your pants, Nilrim. She will sort of lightheartedly, as you're crawling from one ship to the other, point it out and say, is that a rod in your pants? Are you happy to see me?
You want to see it? He asks her.
Well, is that any way to talk to a lady? She says.
Melon, absolutely not. I'm sorry about him. He
He'll
is.
continue onto the ship.
He's blessed in some ways, but not in others. If you catch my drift.
She'll cock her head to the side and go, "Oh, really?" And take out a hand to like give you a nice little pat. And this is the question of: do you dress to your left or to your right, Mr. Mouton?
Well, it was on the right, so he's gonna dress to the left and let her have a pat.
Well, I never.
I see what you mean, Captain, she says as she she's not staring too much, but she gives a pat to the inside of the thigh and hits the wrong rod and seems a little surprised, but passes it off as no big deal. And
That was an important role 2 sessions ago.
yeah,
Came in
it
handy.
turned out really important.
Yeah.
And soon enough, the whole party is on the skiff, heading back to the ship. And you can see, there's those archers on the back and on the front. And they don't have, they've got their bows out, but nothing's drawn, and they're watching you. And this is the sergeant at arms. This is going to be like the best fighter on board. But if they've got some archers, then there might be some warriors of some kind on here. And Soon enough, you're rowed over, you climb up the netting, and as other people hoist the remainder of the boat up, and the boat gets pulled into a position, and someone else goes back to attach a rope, and they begin to set up the two boats in a convoy situation, the captain of this vessel will show up. He is
Okay, right before we do that bit though, just to clarify, how is our ship attached to this?
They're going to tie a rope from the front of your ship to the back of their ship and just tow it behind them. It will dramatically slow them down, but it will get you to safety. And they will charge you a handsome amount.
Well, they won't charge us because...
Well, this is our ship now, so...
yeah, this is our ship.
Right.
We'll be
We're already on board.
Excellent. Why don't we take our break right here before I introduce you to the captain of this vessel, and the ploy can go forward. So we will see you on the other side of our break. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Tides of Death. Our pirates are aboard
Can I
the
tell you what
vessel.
Nilrum's looking for before we do anything crazy?
Absolutely.
Okay, Nilrum's looking for... he'll go downstairs if they're invited to, and he's going to look for a spider web or something.
Okay. But first, the captain walks across the deck towards you. A fine, noble woman with boots that clack, clack, clack as she walks across. Her clothes,
She wearing armor?
immaculate. No armor. But she's got a nice broad hat with a feather in it, a much, larger, more magnificent feather than Captain John here. Her clothes are that of nobility and wealth. She smiles like a big, broad grin at you, and you can see a bunch of her teeth have been replaced with gold teeth. Well, looks like you're aboard my ship. I am Captain Deirdre. Which one of you, scallywags, is the captain who has so floundered his ship that he needs help getting back to shore?
That would be I. I am Captain Waterford, and this is my group of merry sailors. We extend the hand of friendship and thanks for you
And
helping us in our
hopefully
time
the hand
need.
of gold, she says, sort of interrupting your flow. It's not an easy thing for us to bring you back. Our deliveries will be late. We'll have to make recompense to our clients.
Of course. I'm prepared to pay. I'm a little bit worried at the number of men you have here, that if I were to pay everything up front, you may throw me and my companions overboard. Perhaps I could pay half now and half when we arrive safely on land.
If I wanted to throw you overboard, I would just take the things that you have. But you, sir, are calling me a pirate and assuming or presuming that I am a liar, a brigand, and a treacherous
apologize.
thief.
You
come onto my ship?
I mean no such accusation. I'm just nervous for my own life and the life of my crew. Of course, I'll pay up front. How far away are we from land?
We are 2 weeks from landfall, although with this ship tugging behind, that might reach to a third. Nadinas bless the winds, we might get there in a more timely manner. How did you manage to get your keel fucked, as you say?
I'll be honest with you, and I know it doesn't reflect well on me as a captain, but I'm not quite rightly sure. We heard some sort of contact from below deck. I'm not sure. One of my men says they saw a shadow under the water, but I didn't
think
see
it was a
anything
whale.
myself.
Big one, too.
Perhaps a whale, perhaps something more sinister.
Do your men always talk out of turn?
I understand this is a grand vessel with a large crew. My men and I are good friends. At least the most of us are.
I'll speak up and say only me, but that's because I can get away with it, and I'll wink.
She
He's a good lad.
looks flabbergasted. Your crew? Friends with them? No wonder you're stuck out at sea, nowhere to go. No sense of discipline.
Perhaps
Well-
you're onto something there. Hear that, lads?
It'll be
Oh, I hear it.
200 gold to get you to shore.
That is a large price to ask. I'm afraid that you'll have wiped out an entire month's profit, but it's better than meeting in a watery grave, and so I shall concede.
Splendid.
Let me see what I can do. I will rummage through my packs and pull out 4 bags of gold.
Excellent. She makes a motion. Someone comes over, grabs them, and quickly counts through them, and then gives her the, it's all there, thumbs up. She tells him to take it to her quarters, and then her demeanor softens. Welcome aboard. I am Captain Deirdre.
Captain Deirdre, a pleasure. And the name of your ship? The name of our savior?
The
I shall
forbidden
raise a
fruit.
toast. I shall raise a toast to the forbidden fruit when I get to the nearest tavern.
Excellent. Well, I suppose at this point in time you are passengers, so Leroy, take them to their quarters, she calls, and a young man comes on over and motions you one way, and he'll show you down to the below decks. And it is sort of smelly down here.
Wait. Captain, before we leave, I hate to impose, but my men are famished. We have not eaten in days. If we could have something to eat, that would be I would be very, very grateful.
I think there's some hardtack down there for you. Leroy, I see that they get hardtack and water. And Leroy will head you down the stairs into the galley and pull out some hard bread that really does need to be soaked in the water before it can really be eaten.
I say to Leroy on the way down, flour must be very expensive in Solemn.
He shrugs. Captain's orders? Supposed to save money or something? Get more money in our pockets at the end of the journey?
Say, Leroy, we really are starved here. You couldn't smuggle us some better food, could you? And I'll hand him 5 gold.
5 gold?
Yeah.
He looks at the pieces of gold. It's months of wages right there, maybe.
Shh. Have some fruit.
I'll see what I can scrounge up for you. And he'll disappear again, leaving the 6 of you alone in the galley for a moment. You can hear on the decks above the shuffling of boots, of sailors' feet. They go about, you can hear the captain's orders barking at people. The stomping of...
a dick.
Yeah.
This might be easier than we
Right.
thought, Captain.
Well,
No, grab some cobwebs if you can find any.
I hope that I don't need to say this, but I know that you're not all the most
no
forward of
cobwebs.
thinkers. But
There are none?
No, they keep this ship clean.
You said it
and,
was smelly down here.
It is smelly down here, but it is clean. The smell is coming from the cargo in the next holdover.
What does it smell of?
Some of it smells a little sour, like rotting fruit or something like that. Or not like that sweet, overly sweet smell. And then there's also the unmistakable smell of like dung, of like livestock dung. And if you pay close attention, you can hear the rummaging around of some sort of like hoofed foot on the deck below you.
I say to them, I know that you're not all the most forward of thinkers, but remember the plan here. Whatever we do tonight, we can't kill too many of them. There needs to be enough left to actually get the ship to Weatherlight once this is all over.
I'll speak up. Why do we have to do it tonight, Captain?
We don't.
We could take
No.
some time. Almost
Well.
every ship has a few people who are mutinous.
I was thinking, I don't know where the closest land is, but if we're heading back to the Dardanelles, it might be worth waiting until you're back in touch with your friend.
I would very much so like to be back in touch with him. I'm feeling very vulnerable right now.
I bet you are. Now you're just an ugly fucker with, well, you haven't even got a weapon.
Oh, you want to play this game, Captain? I guarantee you, before we get to land, I will bed this captain. Okay, on looks alone.
Oh, really? So, well, that's a bet I'll
If
take.
you bet the captain, I think.
I have to. Wait, is it a competition as to who can better, or are you just betting me that you can't?
I'm betting you that I can.
Yeah,
I'm making a bet. I'm making a bet that I can't. pay him.
Absolutely. I accept the bet.
There's no way.
That's
On
no way.
hotness
No way.
roll alone, 15.
No, that's not the captain. Yeah, you talking about the sergeant or the captain?
No, the
You're talking
captain.
about-
No, I'm a 15.
Oh, you're a 15. Oh shit. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Who brought weapons? I got a dagger.
I have all my good spells. He pats his dick.
Archie, you got your weapons right there. I can see them. Sail. If we wait for your spells, then we should be basically at full strength.
If we wait, but there's a reason I joked about sleeping with the captain. I think my best weapon here will be political.
I don't think a noble lady's gonna sleep with you. I'm gonna be honest.
Listen, every man deserves to shoot for the 3-pointer. Okay.
Good luck.
Okay, well, while we're hanging around tonight, let's try and find out first where we're going. Because if we're going back to the Dardanelles, then we wait for that. Try and just speak to the crew about the conditions on the ship. Try and gauge how many of them are good fighters, how many of them might be sympathetic to a change of management. But nothing crazy. We don't want to blow our load too soon here. Like she said, we got weeks before we get to land.
Okay.
Okay.
Is there like a blacksmithing station on board or anything like that?
No.
Okay.
Unfortunately, that would be nice though, wouldn't it?
Hmm?
So you guys are gonna bide your time. You're gonna wait for the appropriate moment. And so we can kind of skip through some of these days on this boat. You'll notice a westbound direction, and it's not too difficult to get out the destination. Y'all headed for Redport.
Okay.
So we're going away from the Dardanelles.
Yeah, we're not going
Right.
to you're not going to get your spells back then.
Nilrum, your spell book is stored on the other ship too, right?
Probably, but he can still cast spells without spellbook, right?
Right, you just can't relearn new spells or change your
good
spell
spells.
list. Okay. So, we've got some time on this ship. How long are we going to delay? What sort of situations are we looking for?
Well, tell me if this sounds crazy. Late at night, how hard would it be for me to get to our ship and get some of our gear back?
Very
climb down
difficult.
the side of the...
There's
How
going to be
come?
multiple people on watch.
just because I'd be spotted, not because it's hard to do.
Right, yeah, you just get spotted right away.
Okay.
But the physical act of climbing a rope from your ship to the ship back there would be some sort of die roll check. Probably not a terribly difficult one, but failure would indicate that you fell into the water, and the ships do go faster than you can swim, and so you would then be
Die.
lost at sea and die.
Yeah, okay.
Not a big
Okay,
deal.
so, yeah, I mean, I spend my time trying to make friends with the crew and to gauge the fighting strength and the will to fight of the people here. You know, I asked them about if they've been into any battles, if they've run into any pirates, that kind of thing.
Right, so you ask about battles and pirates, and they'll say that, there's not much piracy, especially not over in Solemn, where they're from. It appears that the armies of Verasi, the great warlords that have overrun the area, have put an end to piracy. The only pirates left are they themselves, the warlords of Verasi, the goddess of death, who has overtaken the lands of Solemn. So no
Sounds
pirates
like
to
it's a
speak
whole
of.
country of pirates.
Well, I mean, a lot of people might say something like that. Tide's End, though, made a good alliance early on. No real problems there. Get to operate more or less on our own as long as we pay a certain amount of tribute and soldiers as need be. And, of course, fly the flag of Verasi over our capital.
I didn't realize it had gotten that bad over there. I was actually planning to move to Tide's End when I retire, but maybe I'll rethink it now.
Well, how do you feel about death?
Well, I love the idea.
A lot of it happening over there.
Well, yeah, as long as it's some other fucker and not me.
Usually. That's really out in the far east where the battles are happening. The western end of Solemn is all peaceful by now. Everyone's either capitulated, allied, or been crushed.
Peace is something, I suppose. But there's still pirates around these parts. Around Redport, too. You ever run anything to around there?
No, couldn't say that I have.
Oh.
Hear any? Is can Nilrim be there? He just wants to ask a question.
Yeah,
Yeah,
sure.
totally.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hear any great tales from Arcadia? I once visited there. Anything going on?
I don't get out to Arcadia very much. In fact, this is my first trip out there. Some of the other sailors have mentioned that Redport's a trade hub of many things, part of the kingdom of Eridon, I hear.
No one nod.
They
Ain't no
clearly
such
are.
thing as Aridon anymore.
What do you mean?
But yeah. Whole place has collapsed. Queen's got no authority, especially not to the east in Redport. Place is run as a free state now. Guy used to be a duke, calls himself a king.
The dwarves who run the shit over there now.
Oh, nothing like a trusty good dwarf to have your back. Sounds like
You know
it's going to
where
be
you
a
are
great
with a
place.
dwarf.
Yeah.
That's true, you do know where you're at with a dwarf. It's usually nowhere good, but at least you know you're there.
I like dwarves, so they're predictable.
I have laid out the ship for you in the various different parts. This right here is the main deck. You can see it pretty much matches this one, except you've got these inside areas. This back here is the captain's quarters, this big fancy stateroom. This over in here is out here is the kitchen. And then this is sort of like the mess hall where you can eat quickly and then move on. This is the main cargo area. And then this down here is like the deep hold cargo area. You guys, at this moment while you're chatting, are in here. So I guess the hoofbeats that you hear are coming from the same deck that you're on, from the main cargo zone, not the one down, since it's a staircase down there. And yeah.
Does the sexy sergeant lady have her own room?
You can ask for that information, and yes, not her own room, but she splits this room up here with not this room. Yes, she splits this room up here with a few of the other officers.
Okay,
Norm
so there's
is
a few of them
gonna-
in there.
Spend a few days searching every nook and cranny for a spider web, for a bit of web.
Yeah.
He'll get up early in the mornings when people aren't awake to sweep.
Real problem is that there's no spiders on the ship, and there's no flies
Can't
on
get
the
more.
ship. Yeah, there's no spider webs to be found where you go about. The ship is pretty clean. You'll see that the hoofed animal here on the deck, in the hold with you, is like this brilliant white horse with just like, flowing mane. It's huge. It's like a giant unit of a horse, and it's just like absolutely gorgeous.
Nice.
It's a nice horse.
Very nice horse. It seems to be quite unhappy below decks on a ship. Very, very, very unhappy. Does not like being down here. It will stamp around and snort and kick at things from time to time. It's like chewing on part of the ship itself because it's so anxious. You'll get
What's
a pretty
the,
good head count of 40 sailors, and then another, what appears to be 15 soldiers with the sailors.
Okay, do the sailors and the soldiers sleep together?
Yeah, sort of. Like, people have hammocks, and they put them up wherever they can find room, or they just sleep on the open deck. So there's no, like, assigned quarters. They just sleep everywhere.
How drunk are people getting
Not at all.
at night? Not at all.
Not at all.
Sale would like to spend his time like being as helpful to the crew as possible while not wearing a shirt. And like especially like when the captain's looking, he's gonna like play it up like he's really working, like carrying stuff. He's helping people, like being the best, saved crew ever. He's trying to catch her eye because I assume she appreciates diligence.
You're trying to impress Captain Deirdre.
That's right. Also, what was her hotness roll? Did we get one?
15, right?
No, that was the
was
sergeant.
Sergeant.
No, sorry.
That was the sergeant. The captain. It was 13.
Okay, but I'm giving her +2 because she has gold teeth in my eyes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
She is my equal
Mm.
in hotness. Yeah, so I'm going to try and catch her eye, and then eventually I
So-
will... Go ahead.
I was gonna ask you to give me a charisma check for like how well you can do this, and a second charisma check for like what you can read into her.
This is going to go very poorly.
Oh, all right. So you are a handsome man, my friend. Not only are you a handsome man, but you can stretch at the right moments. You can pick up those hefty loads and like almost drop them, but then like, you know, catch something with your foot and toss it back onto the pile of sticks that you're carrying or whatever it is that you're moving about. You can perform for her in an amazing way. However, all of this performing, you know, usually involves not paying too much close attention because you're not trying to draw. You don't want to be like, you don't want to be asking for it, you know? And so you don't quite get a grip on what she's thinking. But you've noticed some of the other sailors have been checking you out, you know? One day, one night early on, you're approached by a young lad. Maybe this is the wrong music for this. He'll walk up to you and be like, you know, I saw the way you were coiling rope up on the deck earlier today. Those are some pretty strong arms that you've got around there. I mean, the way you're holding it out there, just the sweat and the sea air. You ever heard of the sport of bodybuilding? You could do very well on that.
I've never heard of that. I just believe that, you know, the
You
true
haven't-
strength of a man is a hard day's work.
You haven't heard of the sport of bodybuilding? Maybe it hasn't made it out this far west. Oh, yeah. No, you see, it's this great thing where, you know, people will work their bodies into specific forms and then show off the... Here, why don't you try doing one of these? And he'll, like, strike a pose and ask you to similarly strike it.
I'll strike the pose.
He'll be like, well, that's not quite right. And he'll, like, step behind you and, like, position your arms slightly more carefully. And it's at this point that you know, you can tell the grip is a little bit too gentle. His face is a little too close to yours. You can see that you have a suitor, a caller coming for you.
I will. When I realize this, I'll gently remove his hand from me and say, while I'm not uninterested, I don't think you're who I have my eye on. I'm sorry. But maybe another time we meet, perhaps there will be a moment.
He puts his hands off and goes, I'm just into bodybuilding. Anyway, I've got some duties to attend to, and politely leaves without being, you know, offended or upset in any way, shape, or form. Well done. Excellent navigation of that sail. The captain. We'll get to the rest of the crew in just a moment. Oh, captain has noticed him. Oh no.
Fails the talk of the ship.
Oh no. Oh no. Oh, these rolls are going in your favor very uncomfortably well. The captain has a 14 charisma, separate stat from hotness. And on her, like, am I into him roll, has rolled a 17 plus the 14 for 31. So combining her 31 with your 29, there's magic in the air here.
Just need another 9.
We're going to come back to the two of you in a wee bit here. In the meantime, everyone else is making preparations of a different kind. What are the rest of you doing?
Yeah, so in the evenings, I'm making friends with as many people as I can. I want to try and get a clear indication of how many people are on guard. Do the sailors have weapons? Where do people sleep? Like, where specifically do the guards sleep? And, you know, like, I check the same guy night after night. I expect they probably sleep in the same spot. I mean, people are like that.
Yeah. They tend to
what I
sleep.
would like to know is, come evening time, how many people are likely on the deck armed, and how many soldiers, armed people, are asleep somewhere on the ship that I could interfere with, basically.
Right. So you've got that there are 15 soldiers here.
Yeah.
And they are split evenly between day and night shift, which then, of course, you get called up even if it's not your shift if something goes on, if something's going down. But they're generally split between the two.
Yeah, okay. And what are they doing with their weapons at night when they're asleep?
They're just tucked right next to them. So someone
Like, in
will
the bed
hop
with them,
into
or
a
just-
hammock and they might put their saber in their hammock next to them, or maybe somebody else is sleeping on a floor and they'll prop lay the spear or saber or bow next to them. On a ship like this, with all the rocking back and forth, you either need to put something in a secured location. You can't really stand any weapons up against the ship because they'll just topple over. So the safest place where your weapons aren't going to roll away from you is in your hammock with you.
Yeah.
Sheathed, of course.
Okay,
Bows
what
will be
time,
hung on a wall.
Does the captain drink? Although I might not need to deal with her. Sounds like Sail might be able to.
Perhaps. You, as technically a captain of your own vessel, will be accorded a dinner with her on the first night, and you will notice that she does sip wine, but she does not drink. She does not become intoxicated in any way, shape, or form. She'll have a glass of wine as she sits with the other officers and talks about what was going on in the day, and she'll ask you questions about your crew and where you met and what your business is and a whole bunch of other stuff. Why don't you just give me a charisma check for bullshitting?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can bullshit your way through a discussion about what your crew is up to and how you met and all that jazz without worrying about it too much.
Yeah.
No one becomes any more suspicious. What were your other questions?
Yeah, that's a lot of it. Do I get the impression that there's any armories on board, anywhere where they store additional weapons?
No. It looks like these 15 soldiers plus the sergeant at arms are the only truly capable fighters here. The captain carries a sword, and some of the other officers carry swords with them. They look like nobles. They've probably had some level of training. They're probably at least first or second level fighters, and there are 3 officers plus the sergeant at arms. So a total of 19, 20 if you count the captain, actual warriors, and then the 40 crew members.
How often are the captains and the officers and the sergeant eating dinner together?
Every evening.
In a private room?
Yes. They will eat together in this room up here.
Okay. And is there ever guards on the door there? If I would need to leave the dinner to go take a leak or something like that?
You just go. Yeah,
What?
there's no guards on the door.
Okay, so I'm starting to formulate a plan that probably involves killing all the officers and the sergeant and the captain in the first strike. I eat dinner with them, I step out to go to the toilet, I signal everyone else, you come back with me and we just kill all them.
Norm could just lightning bolt.
Well, I don't want to destroy the ship really. I think if we get the jump on them, they won't have their weapons on them, we can probably just slaughter them.
How
That's
bad would
the-
lightning bolt destroy the inside of a ship?
Probably not
horrifically.
too terribly. The real issue would be setting it on fire by accident, which is possible if you're lightning bolting the inside of a ship where there's tablecloths and candles and maybe an oil lamp and some other stuff like that and papers. You could start a fire which could badly damage the whole ship. In theory, you should be able to put out a fire on a ship, but you might really fuck yourself if it spreads.
I don't think we'll have an issue if we all burst on them unawares and get a surprise round. I think we'll destroy them. But I'm open to other ideas if anyone else has a different plan. There's loads of ways we could manipulate this.
Seems fine.
So your plan is to burst in during dinner and kill everyone, including the captain?
Just kill the captain, the sergeant, and the 2 officers. That way there's just the 15 soldiers left, but they've got no one left to follow, so they might even just surrender at that point.
Probably fucking hate
Yeah.
him anyways.
Because I think we want to avoid killing any of the sailors. And if we can avoid killing the soldiers too, more's the better. We kill the bosses, and then we say, we will kill you too, or you can surrender and we'll drop you off at Redport when we get there.
It's the problem with
Yeah.
meeting all together.
I was gonna say, is
Oh,
capturing
okay.
not like another maybe better option? Might turn less people disloyal.
I think we just
It-
fuck them up, and then whoever
it-
lives.
Yeah, I think maybe we'll save a life if we can, but I think going out of our way to capture them is just going to make it more difficult. And ultimately, I doubt this captain will surrender without having to be killed. Probably. I know that
Well-
you've got a penchant for a sail.
My thought was one night, if I can get her eye and get into her bedchambers,
Mm-hmm.
I subdue her and
Tire her out, you mean? Yeah.
oh, I don't know how well I'll manage that, Captain, but I'll definitely subdue her. And since the important people tend to sleep in the same room, I believe, right? We learned
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, that is another option. Yeah, but
Take them in the night.
I'm gonna be
capture
honest,
all
Dale.
the-
I would just rather do the captain's plan.
Sure.
They're all there.
yeah, the issue with this other planned sail is there's always going to be one officer asleep, one officer on duty. When they have dinner, it's the only time they're all together.
Yeah, fair enough. That makes sense. Yep.
All
Totally.
right, let's just do this tonight, Captain, at dinner.
Well, I know that Sail here is still working on his prize. We've got another week or two before we get to Redport Sail. I can pretend to be a law-abiding citizen for another few days if you think you could seal the deal.
You know it is, Captain. I just worry. If we brought someone on our ship, we might say that we're 2 weeks, 3 weeks out, but we might only be a week.
Potentially.
As much as I believe that Sail could do it, I say we just go tonight. Just get it done with.
I'll go tonight if the captain accepts that I won the bet.
I accept it.
Okay, fine. I accept it.
All right.
You could have done it, Sail. I believe
You
in you.
could have, yeah.
Archie, wait. We need your input on this. What do you think? You like the plan? Let's be honest here. You're going to be doing most of the heavy lifting.
I can do it. Don't worry.
We're never worried when you're here, Archie.
That's right.
Okay. So if this is how it's going to go down, I'll go for dinner with them. I'll go out to the bathroom. I'll give you guys the signal. I'll go back in. I will walk around the table and get in the first blow. When you hear screams, that's the time to bust in through the door and start kicking ass.
Now let's talk about this plan a moment here. We can see that this dining room, like all places on a ship, is pretty cramped and close quarters. If you're going to be fighting with like swords in here, you're going to be at some to hit penalties because everyone's going to be like squeezed together and it's indoors, so the roofs aren't that high. So if you like raise your sword up, it's going to get hit around things. If you're going to like pull it back, you're going to bump into walls. It's a tough area in which to fight. Also, this room opens up out onto the deck in the front and in the back. So if you are like coming out to take a piss or whatever and then heading back in, you're going to be on whoever's on watch right now, which is at least 5 warriors plus the sailors that are on watch at night, will have like direct line of sight to that door practically.
No, what if the other people are back here? What if the rest of the crew?
The party? Yeah, this area is off limits to them. This is, this is a no-go zone. It's through the like officers' dining quarters. It's like the little private officers' bow spot.
Captain, I say that you just let me go upstairs, lightning bolt the entire room, get him low, and then you guys can finish him off. I'll probably even kill a few. The ship won't set on fire. I've sailed many a ship. It will be fine.
Well, I don't doubt your ability. My worry is that the scouts on deck will turn this into one prolonged engagement with the whole ship. What I'd really like to do is have this nasty business done and over before anyone else finds out, and they find out once the deed is done, then their spirits will be subdued and they'll be less likely to resort to violence. Whereas if they see the fight in progress, they're likely to get involved.
This ship is small enough that within the first combat round, anyone who is on the ship will have heard what's happening and will have been able to make it to the deck. Like, there's not going to be a way to do this surreptitiously unless you can do it quietly.
Is there any, like, have I in any of the meals gotten any powdered corn? Or any powdered corn extract? Or any corn that I can powder into extract? Any of
No,
this?
I'm
Okay.
sorry. There's no powdered corn. Is that a spell
There's no
component?
regular corn?
No, there's no corn.
Yeah,
Any
powdered corn
tortillas,
extract and a
maybe?
twisted loop of parchment for rope trick.
Oh, unfortunate.
That would have been good too.
What did you say, Archie?
Don't worry about it.
Okay. So, fighting in the room is going to be tough. It'll be close quarters. It'll be
Well, I don't
penalty.
think that matters to us too much. I mean,
I don't know.
Okay.
we've got a spellcaster, a fist user, and I've got a dagger. So I mean,
Great.
I feel like
Close
we're
quarters,
pretty
if
well
anything,
equipped.
helps us.
Great.
Yeah. Do they
Okay,
have
let's
dinner
just
with
do
their
it live,
weapon?
Koibu.
Do they have weapons? Do they have weapons with them when they're eating dinner?
They dress in full regalia.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Captain, when you go up, just let me come with you and just let me get a lightning bolt in there.
I'm not against it, Noram. I just don't know if it's the best approach.
If you and Archie go in there and start fighting, people are going to hear it, and it's going to be slow to kill. If I can just get a lightning bolt off, it'll be quick, they'll be down, and as soon as we have them handled, it'll be easy pickings for the rest of the ship.
What if there is the fire, and we get engaged with the rest of the crew in a fight?
It'll be slow.
While the ship burns.
It'll be slow to spread. Me being on ships many years, I know that this wood, he kicks the wood, is actually pretty fucking hard to burn down. It's not going to be a quick thing. Even if we're engaged for, he throws a number out of his ass, 30 minutes to an hour, which we won't be. The ship will be fine. It'll be manageable.
Archie, you think that's right? Ships burn that slow? I think if this thing catches fire, we'll be alright.
Does Archie remember something like this ever happening? Some reference he can make?
You know,
Oh, we must have seen fires on ships.
Yeah.
you need to have a cook fire on your ship, unless you want to
Yeah.
beat your ship every night to cook like the ancient Greeks did. So most of these ships have fires on them, and sometimes fires do get out of control and begin to burn ships. Luckily, wood is hopefully treated in a way that is to resist this, and on top of that there are many barrels sort of stacked around on the decks with water on them, not for drinking but for, you know, emergency situations like putting out fires. If a fire were to start on like the deck of the ship, it's not too terribly hard just to like dump these barrels and spread it out everywhere. If it starts in a room like this and it climbs to the ceiling, it can be really hard to put out a fire on a ceiling. And in theory, like that could maybe burn this top deck here, but you could put it out before it like burned through the bottom part, and you could maybe prevent it from spreading to the rest of the deck. Worst case scenario, you lose this whole top front area and the front mast, and it needs to be repaired, and you're kind of working with a weaker ship for a while.
Yeah.
Okay, how's about this then for a plan, right? When they're having dinner, our crew, so Nilrim, Sail, and Archie, stand on the top of this deck here, whilst James and Mary Beth stand on this side over here, and try and make some sort of... So when they see me come out of the room, they start getting into some sort of argument, causing a distraction for the guards. While the guards are distracted, us three, as I walk back in, can jump from the top deck down to this bit where we're not meant to be, and then enter in through the back.
Okay. I
Seems
like
good.
it.
Now, I'm not suggesting that the argument's going to do that much, but even if it just helps a little, and plus, I don't think we want either of them being killed. Plus, if we're all together, it's going to look a bit more suspicious than just the three of you hanging out doing your own thing up here.
Yeah.
I'll come out to give the signal. Then, as you see me walking back in, that's when you jump down. Nilrim casts his lightning bolt. Once the lightning bolt goes in, I'll rush in, and then we just finish it off.
I like your plan, Captain.
All right, Sail, Archie.
I'm in. I think we can do it. The brilliant plan, Captain, as always.
Thank you, Archie.
I had my plan as well.
It feels like an ill-elegant plan, like a hammer hitting a screw. But I'll go.
It is a
along with
bit. It is a bit. Well, I was getting bored sitting around doing nothing anyway. It's time to shed some blood.
You know what they say, Sail? When all you have is a screw, everything starts to look
Hammer.
like a hammer.
Like a screwdriver.
Yeah.
Precisely, Archie.
So yeah, just to confirm, Neil, is this a door here or just an empty space?
It's empty, right?
No, there's a door. Yeah, you
Is it
absolutely get a door.
locked?
No,
Okay.
not usually. The captain's quarters you would expect to be locked pretty much at all times.
Yeah.
But none of the other doors on the ship would be locked, in theory. Unless there's something like, treasury or a super valuable cargo hold that has been temporarily erected.
All right, Archie, when we jump down there, I want you to open the door for me, and I will shoot my thing through it, and then you can go in after. Is that okay?
Sounds good.
I confirm with Archie that he is listening and understands. I give him a thumbs up. Give him a fist bump.
So the two of you are going to hop down here and burst through this door.
And then
Yeah.
shoot a lightning bolt, yeah.
And then, me and Sail can come through the front. I also will speak to James and Mary Beth, and I have them sort of think about what their argument's going to be. And I suggest that maybe it's like they're implied that they're in a sexual relationship, and Mary Beth's like criticizing his manhood and his performance loudly in front of everyone. That's bound to draw the attention of the gods.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, some juicy drama and gossip on an
Yeah.
otherwise orderly ship.
Yeah.
So do you want them to be on the deck?
I
Below deck?
want them to be up here, where in plain view of any of the guards who are on the main deck.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Got it. Mary Beth looks at James up and down.
Him as well,
Mary Beth looks James up and down and goes, well, that's not going to be hard. I mean, look what this guy's packing. It's not much. And he, grimaces, but nods, in approval of the plan.
Good. All right, well, all set. Dinner is usually an hour or so before sundown, so I'll head in there and I'll make my move once I'm in there for about half an hour. That once I leave, should give you all enough time to get in position. And let's make this happen.
I do want to
Alright.
say this though, Captain. Have I cock-blocked John Winters before?
I think we
You
kind of
must
think
have
so.
one lady.
It's like
Which lady?
Fuck, I can't remember her name. Lady.
Take more than you bunch of fucking muppets and cockblock John Winters.
Listen, John, I've never prevented you from romance. I want you to remember that when I'm giving up here.
I appreciate it, Sale. And you'll recall, though, that I did give you the opportunity to wait. Take it up with Norum. Plus, though, do you not think that if you fuck her, it might be harder to kill her?
Makes it easier. No, my actual answer is I don't really feel those kind of attachments, Captain.
Yeah, that makes two of you.
All right, Captain. I'll see you then.
All right. So I wait for
You fucking bastard.
dinner.
Sure.
Nice.
So this is dinner before sundown. So the soldier count is on active duty is 10, but they're not all necessarily on the top of the deck all the time. They're just on duty doing this, that, or the other thing. We will put 2 on the front, 2 on the back, and 2 on the midship. And then the rest of them will be, maybe below deck somewhere, out of sight right now. The other soldiers, the ones who are not on duty, who are supposed to be sleeping at this hour, will take at least a round to wake up and get their shit before they can arrive. There are going to be a few other sailors over here too, but I don't think I have any good sailor tokens that are going to be about working. No, I don't have any. I just have a peasant token.
Archie should be on full health, right?
Yeah, we all are.
Right. So we'll have 1, 2, 3, 4 people over here. There'll be someone working on this mast up here. We'll put a couple of people up on this mast. Two of these are on.
Like, pretty silent, or am I just like screaming like?
It's not
shit?
Screaming, but you do have to like clearly enunciate. Think about like a professor giving a lecture. You know, you have to speak your words strongly and clearly with the right amount of force and panache. And so it's not a quiet thing, but you're not like yelling at the top of your lungs. It's assertive.
Real quick, for this combat, I'm not wearing my brass knuckles. How do I modify that on my character sheet?
Your fists will do D3s instead of D6s.
I'll just manually
D4s,
change that
actually,
to
I'm sorry.
D3?
Yeah, D4s instead of D6s.
D4, okay.
Nilrim, when you cast your lightning bolt, angle it upwards. As far as I recall, the thing's pretty long. We don't want it destroying any other parts of the ship.
No, well, none. You
Right.
know how to use magics, Captain?
I know geometry, I guess.
Fucking G.
All right. I put a hand on Archie and Sale's shoulders and say, all right, I think it's time to go, lads. I'm going to make my way there. Like I said, about half an hour.
How
Be in
heavily
position.
armored? Unarmed. Are they wearing like normal leathers that we would see on boats? Or
No,
are they, like,
they're not wearing much in the way of armor whatsoever.
Okay.
In fact, just pretty much nothing.
Is it because if they were like wearing plate, I'd be like, okay, no, we're fine.
Yeah. And I imagine this talking to all these, you know, the crew talking amongst each other must be, you're not like all gathered together in one huddle, whispering to each other over and over again. It's more
it's
of like
probably
a,
more like me going back and forth between people and then other people having little conversations between themselves.
Probably over like a day.
yeah.
No, we're scheming on the front deck in the middle of everybody.
Yeah. And that's when we lightning bolt them.
Excellent. So we'll have the Sergeant at Arms. I'm going to make the tokens small because people are like sitting at tables and you're not occupying your full 5-foot squares.
Can you distinguish someone casting a verbal somatic spell from someone speaking another language? If you don't know.
If you saw someone casting a spell and you weren't really sure what they were doing, you would think it was like a bit of theater or something because there's very like precise movements and precise intonations that must be made. It doesn't sound like a conversation. It sounds like a lecture or a performance of some kind. So if you are unfamiliar with magic and you just like saw someone in the town square doing it, you might be like, huh? Is it some sort of theater that I just don't get?
Yeah.
But if you're at all familiar with magic, you would probably be able to pick up on it pretty quickly.
Got it.
And 3 officers. I guess the captain and the sergeant at arms should sit on opposite sides of the table. The captain facing the front door, the sergeant at arms near the door. And just some regular old warrior tokens for our regular people. Guys, all right. Good enough. Here are the other officers. They don't have 2 swords. These are just officer tokens. 2 on the side next to the window, 1 next to the hallway. Captain John, you can sit next to Captain Deirdre over here. And
This
then the
Deirdre
table.
with the
That's
hat.
Deirdre, yeah, with the hat. And then this will be
you
like
need
where
that
the
token.
table
You
is.
need the bigger hat.
Yeah. Mine's a custom token though, so you know. I like it. Okay.
All right, and this
So-
is the second night, then.
Oh, is it really only the second night? I had imagined it.
No, I thought we'd been here like a week.
Okay.
We've been
Yeah,
here like
right.
4 or 5 days.
Yeah, let's
Yeah.
do 4 or 5 days.
It's
Okay,
worth
so-
waiting a bit, so people let their guard down a little bit, you know.
Yeah, and I'd want to ask Nilrum a question then. would have asked this before we started planning if I realized so long had passed. How have you been able to hide your rod for 4 or 5 days? Because tucking it in your waistband is one thing if you just need to, like, do something for 5 minutes, but 5 days of a rod being tucked in your pants without it, like, slipping or falling, or without, like, making a motion to adjust it every
Did we
few
all get
minutes.
our own beds?
No, you don't get any beds. You get a hammock.
I mean, I could put it in my jacket.
Yeah,
For
I
you.
mean,
That's fine.
what's wrong with putting it in the hammock under like some shit of my shit? It's my hammock, right?
You are assigned a hammock and a blanket, yeah. So you could wrap it in a blanket and toss it in the hammock. When not in use, the hammocks are usually like taken down and folded up and put to the side. And so the blankets are then like taken down and folded up into like a nice neat little package and put aside so it doesn't take up space.
Can I just, okay, so during the day, it'll be hidden under the blanket. In the mornings, during the day, it'll be hidden in the hammock. Because the hammock should, you know, when you roll it up, it's probably large enough for the rod to be rolled up carefully in it, yeah? Or no?
Yeah, like normally you fold it to make it as small as possible to store it away somewhere. If you wanted to like fold it up in a non-standard way, you could probably get away with that for a little while, but there's a chance that somebody who's pissy about order comes up and, you know, tries to rearrange it. It's not a perfectly safe bet.
Nilrim will ask the captain to hide it for him.
Yeah, that's fine.
This is kind of his
I can just keep it in my jacket, Neil. It shouldn't be a problem.
Sure.
You have internal
Then-
pockets then?
Well, I'm assuming so. Yeah. If you look at the token, it looks like he would have pockets on that jacket.
Let's make you really big.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I guess there's big enough pockets here to store a glass rod. Okay, and are there any problems with John hiding a glass rod on his body? You're the captain, so you're not being asked to do any labor, so I think you could probably just keep it on you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's fine.
And I will, obviously, when I go for dinner that day, I will hand it off to Nilrim.
Yeah, I'll put it in the waistband and he'll walk around with it.
Well then, you're having dinner on one of these nights. It's served. The cook comes on over, lays out a roasted chicken. The captain mentions that we're only 1 week from shore. Hopefully, we'll see how close when we actually get there. Might as well celebrate as we're getting close to land. I know we're not 2 days out yet, which is like the normal celebration time, but we've got these new fine folk. We're making better time than expected. Roasted chicken it is for tonight. Some potatoes are cooked alongside of it.
Amazing. I have not eaten chicken in weeks. This is delicious. Thank you, Deirdre.
She smiles graciously. You guys dig into it. Conversation around the table is mostly about, politics and things back home, and the armies of Varasi this, the generals of Varasi that, the nobles of the Tide's End Kingdom, Stormtide Kingdom, this, that, and the other thing. Places that we could go after the ship is docked. The usual sort of highfalutin conversation around a fancy table with a nice cloth on it and some candles for lighting.
Yeah, I talked to them a little bit about the sights of Wake County and Redport, and oh, I'm from around there. These are some cool things that you should go and visit. The temple to Varasi there. Well, there's a temple. It's headed by a Varasi cleric, perhaps. Might be to your liking. After I finished eating my chicken, I will wipe my mouth and say, well, excuse me, I just need to go and relieve myself. And I'll stand up from the table, push my chair back in, give a short bow to the table, and scoot past this person.
Yeah,
thank you.
She scoots forward to allow you to walk past.
I walk out here. I start whistling, and I will walk over to here, take a leak off the side of the ship.
As you
Well, that's much better. And then I turn. Well, I turn this way. I look to hopefully be seeing Mary Beth and James starting to argue.
Yeah, you can hear the argument picking up steam, and you can see James doing the like, shh, keep it down, and Mary Beth like slowly escalating the voice until she gives him a shove towards the stairs. Whatever lies they're telling here are intriguing and interesting. Let's see how... Ooh, her charisma kind of sucks. Yeah, so she's just like, she devolves into sort of obscenities and insults about this guy and how, how terrible he is in bed and how useless he is. And I could just find a real man. Why don't we go back to the Ardennes? At least the White Prince can, blah, blah, blah. He's a master of order. He knows where the clit is. I bet he could find it without a map. You look, blah, 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 blah.
Perfect. All right.
People over here are paying somewhat attention.
I then turn around and hope to see Norm and Archie getting ready to jump off. I then think twice about getting lightning bolted and move slightly over here to have a quick word with Sale. Hopefully, again, seeing them move. I'm waiting for the lightning bolt now before we go in.
Norm and Archie, hearing it going, seeing these two guards turned around, I think they're gonna do their move.
Let's go.
All right. The guards. They are indeed distracted. They don't notice the two of you get to the edge and quickly lower yourself down. Even the woman up on this sail up here near the front as the sun is going down and she's beginning to roll it back up, isn't paying enough attention to notice you two there. A 13 is a terrible roll.
Norm gives Archie the nod. He pulls out his lightning bolt rod. He turns around, which I'm having trouble doing. And he waits for Archie to open the door.
Archie will attempt to open the door.
The door is unlocked. It swings open easily. The captain immediately turns, looks over her shoulder to be like, what the hell is going on? As Nilrum begins chanting the words to a spell. Lightning Bolt has a casting time of 3. And let's see, D10 for surprise with penalties. That's going to be not fully surprised, but a 10 on initiative will mean that, there's no way. Even if it wasn't a 10, the casting time is 3. Minimum is 4 for her.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think the spell just goes off. They realize what's up. Like, you see them, and you can see that they realize you're casting a spell, and you're in the wrong position. Everything's a little bit fishy here, but the spell goes off before anyone can react. Will you please roll me all the damage?
Yeah. Here's 5d6.
Mm-hmm. Here
It
is...
should bounce a few times in this room, because he's going to be angling it up, so.
Right.
15.
Okay, the captain's HP is 16.
Wounded.
She might survive. Well, she will survive, yeah. The sergeant at arms actually has just a hit die. Does not have a hit die function. Is 5d10 HP. 33. The others are only second level fighters. 1, 2, 3. So one of them is dead outright no matter what they roll. The rest of them, however, I'm going to give them
3 saves?
3
It's a small
saving.
room.
Yeah. So we're going to do 3d20 KL1. This is for the captain. 13 is a fail for a third level fighter.
Yeah.
For the second level fighter is a fail. Second level fighter is a fail. 5th level master at arms, sergeant at arms is a fail. They will all take full damage, leaving the captain at 1 hit point. 1 out of 16. And our sergeant at arms, I guess you probably should know the total, but it's too late now. 18 out of 33. And I think this is where initiative gets rolled. Right here.
Was Archie's turn opening the door?
Probably and
Archie's
staying
got to
out of
like,
the way.
yeah, open the door and stay out of the way. If Archie gets to
Okay.
act, then they all get to act because everyone would be aware. But I think I think an initiative roll is the more appropriate thing right here. The lightning bolt
9.
goes off with a crack, splitting the air. Everyone on the ship is awakened if they were asleep. Everyone on the ship is instantly aware of what's happening. The soldiers nearby are instantly aware that something has gone wrong, and will draw weapons immediately.
I forgot to select my token, but yeah.
Right. We'll get you in there. Where's Mr. Archibald? Three, 4, 5, 6, and they will roll at +5. And James and Mary Beth will roll initiative as well. They don't have much in the way of weapons, so they'll just be using their fists.
I would have told Mary Beth is that her job is to try to survive and distract people rather than fight. James is a real fighter.
I think we would have told both James and Mary Beth not to like.
Yeah, I agree.
fight.
Yep.
Yeah.
Is to just survive the fight.
Just like run, you know, cower.
God damn, Pokemon challenges with 3 again. 3 initiative right here. So, first person to act, as always, is Archie. You've thrown open the door. Nilrum's cast his lightning bolt. We'll actually bring you down to the other floor here. The captain is like lying on the ground. Her hair is singed. Her face is charred. Her clothes are slightly aflame. She's halfway under the table.
Does she... I guess we haven't really talked about this. If we're just gonna straight up kill everyone, right?
Well, we're in it now. You gotta decide now, Archie.
Alright, I'm punching her.
All right.
She's dead.
You walk up to her. You give a nice jab to the throat. You can feel the windpipe crush underneath your hand. Roll me damage. Yes, indeed.
Good enough.
She
I don't-
gasps. Yes.
Think you rolled for the sergeant at arms?
Ooh, I think you're right. I think she did not get her initiative roll. Thank you. Excellent. She gasps her last breath as she passes out immediately. James is the next person to go.
Archie has another attack if he wants.
Oh, that's true. Archie,
Yes.
offhand.
There's another dude here, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'll punch him. Oh, that's a crit, baby.
That is a crit. You wade through the mess of burned bodies and charred tables. And 6 and 3 is 9 to the sergeant at arms. James's turn comes along. Is this not working? There we go. James and Mary Beth instantly change their demeanors and actions. Their job right now is just to survive. And they're up here on this deck. There's 2 soldiers next to them. There's not much in the way for them to do but to defend themselves. So they're going to take defensive actions. The first Marine will have heard the lightning bolt, come to look over the edge, see Nilrum down here, and hop below to the deck and take an attack at Nilrum.
Base.
With a 12.
Miss.
Right. From below decks, we will get a Marine running up the stairs and out the door onto the front deck while everyone else is still like in a tizzy, and weapons drawn, level his sword at the captain because he can't see inside right now. He can't see inside, but he'll level his weapon in the direction of you and say, "What is going on? Put your hands in the air immediately."
I put my hands up.
Okay. He has a ready to attack against you. He is ready to strike. Same thing with the next Marine, who will pop up onto the top deck and come to Sail and level his sword at Sail with the same, like, surrender. Put your hands in the air. What's going on? Leaving us with... Who's the other Marine? Oh, yeah, one already went. The sergeant at arms in the room will get to her feet, draw her weapon, and she will attack you, Archie, at a penalty. Her normal roll, her normal roll would be D20 plus 4 plus 1, and then she's gonna get a -2 for the swinging weapon in close quarters. A 10 is a wild miss. You would have, leaving us with Sail. It's your turn, Sail.
Well, my plan was to try to charge this guy and body check him off the side of the boat. But now there's kind of a little bit too much interference going on. So I'm going to delay my action. If that makes sense.
Do you surrender? Do you put your hands in the air?
I'll just be there's nothing got to do with me. I'll just stand there.
Yeah. We're playing it cool. What's going on? Are my men safe? What was that explosion?
Nilrim's turn?
There is this Marine who goes basically at the same time as you, yes. And this one will be coming up the stairs. It is Nilrim's turn, while this guy comes up the stairs and runs to the door to take a look. It sounded like it came from directly above him, and he was in this section of the boat. He'll throw open the door, see the carnage, and go oh my god. This guy will chance a glance. This guy can see through the door. They can see the open carnage. Nilrim, what's your action?
Nilrim casts magic missile. He's going to target the sergeant at arms, and he's going to state to the person who's in melee range with him that all of the officers are defeated. The battle is won. If you keep fighting, you will die. And 9 damage to the sergeant at arms.
That is enough to bring her to exactly 0.
Nice.
And he tells the guy to put down his arms, unless he wants to die.
Okay, I want to ready an action, right? I feel like the soldiers levying their weapons at me are going to get distracted. If any of them turn their back to me to go and do something else, I'll quickly draw my dagger and stab them in the back.
Right, we're gonna make a morale check for these guys.
Nilrim wasn't quiet about it either. He was kind of yelling it, so maybe they heard it.
Yeah. Also, it's the ship isn't that big. Your voice carries. There's a lightning bolt going off. It's a chaotic situation. Let's see. They are gonna get a penalty of 4 because their most powerful ally has been killed, but they outnumber you 3-1, so they get a +2. They're rolling at a penalty of 2 so far. They oppose a spellcaster, so they're at a penalty of 4 right now. Yeah. Penalty of 4. It's not a great morale check. But they roll 2, which is great. You want low on morale checks. These soldiers, these Marines, their whole point, their whole existence is to fight if something happens on this ship. And without really understanding the true situation, that room is charred, they will spring into action. They will actually, at this point, when the guy throws open the door and Nilrim shoots the magic missiles and shouts about surrendering, they will use their readied actions and just strike. So this is against Sail. Whoosh, miss. This is against Captain John. Whoosh, hit. For 4.
Wait, can I get?
Oh, you get
Am I
your
allowed
block.
to try and block it?
Well, your hands are in the air and you don't have a weapon, so no.
Yeah, but if I see him start to swing his sword, I think I can maybe.
You're not going to be able to draw a
his
weapon in time. By the time you draw your weapon and go to defend, the sword will have already hit against you. There's a reason this is a weakened position. Definitely no block. Sail, you had sort of delayed. Actually, this guard will step inside and go after Archie because his turn is still happening. And he will attack Archie at a -2 from this is a 10. No good. Nilrim's gone. Who's Marine at 9? Well, there's a lot of them. This one over here will shout loudly as he walks over this grate downstairs. The guests are pirates. They're mages. They're sorcerers. They're something. Get up here. And we'll come to attack John as well.
I have drawn my weapon by now.
You haven't even had your initiative come up yet. No. Oh, it's a 2. It's a miss. The Marine up here will come and get Sail from behind. +2 to this one, and another one for high ground, +3 to this. 17 to 20 is definitely a hit. Sail, you'll feel a blade rip open your back for 4 points of damage. Another Marine will come on deck from down below. These are the 10 who are active today. The other ones will take a full round this round to get their shit together. And we'll just come up deck next to the captain.
Is he able to get past all these guys?
These ones are, half of them are up on the sails. The other ones are on here. And yeah, they've got 120 feet of movement, but they can easily take that.
The last thing I'm saying, I know this is how initiative works, but I get hit by a sword, and then a guy runs from downstairs all the way up to the top of the ship and attacks me before I can.
Well, again, it's not like the person was waiting for the sword blow to go off. These are when they're resolving, right? So, like, that person was already on their way, and they happen to be arriving right now. I know we take combat in turns.
Yeah, no, okay. So I don't necessarily only draw my dagger at 11, then, do I? I'm drawing it through. I'm getting ready to attack through the whole round, so I might have drawn it.
I think the situation like this is that you are being attacked and you're trying to dodge and block out of the way, and that might mean keeping your hands free as you maybe move to the side or try to grab an arm and push back, and it's not until your turn that you get to draw your dagger and make your attack. Like, we have to keep things to a certain level of initiative, otherwise the game just breaks down and everyone draws all their weapons right away instantly, you know?
Okay, yep.
There's got to be a penalty for having your hands in the air and having a late initiative, you know what I mean? It's just, yeah.
Can we do group initiative next round? Or no?
Sure, if you want. I don't care. That's fine by me. A 14 against you, John, is a miss.
Nope.
And that was that one. Captain John Winters finally gets to go.
Okay. I draw my 1 dagger and make an attack at the guy in front of me.
Yep. That will hit.
Oh, wait, hang on. Why am I getting +6?
Well, they have 10 AC, so you hit them regardless.
I'm just wondering why I'm rolling that, though. But yeah. Should just be +4. Okay, well, whatever. It's a 17.
Because your dagger is on throne style right now.
Ah, right. Yes, that's right. Thank you.
Which one of these heroes were you targeting? Yeah, okay. We'll take a stab for 2.
Oof.
Not a lot. Yeah. Mary Beth will take her turn, and she and James will they'll take the dodge action over here, leaving us with the 2 Marines up on the top and this one here. This one will step a little bit closer and also target John. /16 is blocked.
Nice.
And the ones up top will come and attack Mary Beth and James, who have bonuses to their AC right now. Mary Beth, James, ooh.
I kind of feel bad for them. These two are getting attacked.
Yeah. Mary Beth will easily get hit. In fact, I think even with her bonus to AC, that is still a crit to Mary Beth. So she will.
Wait, you need a 20? You need
18, and clear by 5. Yeah. So she'll take 5 and go down.
Bye-bye.
Wait, sorry. Is it not clear by 10? No.
No, it's clear by 5.
Okay.
And 15 against James will hit him for 1d6. 2, he will stay up.
Would Nilrim have given them armor?
I think it's maybe a little late, but that sounds like a great idea.
Next time.
Yeah. All right. So we're going to do group initiative now, is what we're doing.
Okay.
So one person roll a d10 for the whole party, and I'll roll a d10 for the whole enemy.
I'll do it.
Okay.
It's 3.
You go first. Actually, Sail, you said you were going to hold an action, but it was...
My initial action was movement based. I was going to charge a guy. So could I transition that into like grabbing Winters and like forcibly like throwing him into this corner? Like telling him, get behind me, John, basically.
You can. But moving someone like that, usually, like if someone moves, it usually provokes an attack of opportunity. What you would be doing would be like swapping places and taking 3 attacks of opportunity.
It's not worth it, Sale. I'll be alright for another round at least.
I mean, he can still do it if he wants.
Yeah,
He can't tell you no. You can take 3
He
attacks
can't
of
really switch
opportunity.
places. He can't really switch places with me without me also taking part in action, right?
Oh, my AC is like pretty high and stuff like that. So it's like, I mean, I can just take that, but it's.
Yeah, sure. I mean, if you want to, fine. But these guys are
Yeah, no.
shit. They're rolling +0.
Yeah, they're rolling +0. It'll be fine. Yeah, I guess I'm gonna try punch a dude.
Roll a hit.
Specifically, I'd actually like to grapple him. Like, see if I could throw the guy on the stairs above me down.
You'll take an attack of opportunity for doing that.
Oh, would I?
An unarmed attack against an armed opponent here.
Yeah. He'll have a weapon. Be really easy for him to strike at you.
Ooh. Well, what could I do then? Probably just dodge, really?
Yeah, there's not much in the way. If you don't have a weapon and they do, and you're not Archie, who doesn't provoke attack of opportunities with his unarmed weapons, you're in a tight straight.
It's a whole room full of weapons over there.
Yeah, but there is this person in the way who is right here.
Yeah. I mean, we just got to kill one and then take his sword, you know?
Is this room right here has weapons?
No, I'm saying the room full of dead people. That's
Oh,
weapons in
gotcha.
it.
Yeah, I guess I will just. Yeah, I guess I'll just defend myself. I'll protect.
Okay. Defending yourself. The party goes first. Everybody, please take your full round action. Your full set of actions. I'm going to move this person over here so we can see them clearly. Nilrum.
Okay, I'm going to switch to attacking this guy.
Which one?
This guy.
I'm not seeing a ping,
22,
but it's a
this guy?
critical hit. Yes, critical hit. You gut him with your dagger. You do 5 points of. You can almost do 5 points of damage, but I will give him a saving throw versus death for that wonderful blow. It is a 4.
Off the edge he goes.
Yeah, let's just give him a dex check to see if he can catch himself as he gets stumbled to the ledge and thrown off. Where is his dex? Here we go. 22. All right, he will get to the edge and teeter and just be like, off balance until his turn comes along. Next person.
Nilrum shoots 3 magic missiles at the guy in front of him.
Mm-hmm.
9 damage.
Enough.
Oh.
Archie.
Archie will punch the dude.
Mm-hmm.
Our savior is here. Let's fucking go.
That is a crit because you crit on 16s now. 2d4 plus 4 damage. 6 and 4 is 10. That will drop the person.
Archie, I need some help back here.
Archie, I need some help back here.
Archie, I'm fine.
Wait, who did I just kill? Sorry.
You got this guy in front of you right
This
here.
guy, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Second attack. I'll help out Nilrim.
Thank you.
Yeah, you can wade through the carnage, come out here, and just knock this person's bluff off. They'll fall into the
Nice.
water with a splash and disappear under the waves.
Thank you, Archie.
I'll fist bump you.
Nilrum takes 5 damage.
Nilrum falls, yeah.
Sail.
So I probably had a little bit of time to think about what I'm going to do because I was just defending myself. Could I disengage through these guys and tumble into the room and grab a sword? Could I
No.
just accept that I'm getting hit?
You can make a dex check to try to pass through them, but you will provoke attacks of opportunity from these 2 people for certain.
Can
Is
I
this-
strength check it if I'm shoulder checking?
If you want to strength check it, then yes, but they will get attacks of opportunity at +2 because you're not trying to squeeze between them. You're just brute forcing.
Is this a locked thing, Koibu? Here?
This grate, it is latched into place. I don't think it has like a padlock lock.
So if you knocked it, people would be thrown, or? Sorry to ask for next turn.
No, that's a good idea. The grate, it doesn't fold down. It comes out. How do
So they
those,
could
how
be
do those
thrown
doors?
Well, if they come out like that, then they
If you
could
knock
be
it, it would
thrown
just
off.
it wouldn't open them. It would unlock it. Like you'd put some
okay.
sliders in place to hold it down. But I think it's actually not taken off. I think you lift the grate out and remove it entirely. It doesn't
It
fold.
opens secret doors as well as locked or trick opening boxes or chests. So I guess it opens it. Doesn't just unlock it.
Oh, shouldn't Archie have a third attack this round?
Yeah, he'll get it at the end of the round. But it's not gonna like open and fling people by. Like I think if you have a door, it'll unlock the door so that it's like cracked open, but it's not gonna like swing the whole thing. Open has,
The reason I was
there are
thinking
many
that it might do
definitions.
that is because when things are barred, it's gonna have to like jump out, right? It's not like a gentle like it's just gonna like fall out.
Yeah. But I
If
don't
we
think
want-
it's gonna
I'm cool with
move
playing
the
like that.
person. Yeah, it's not gonna
Okay, cool.
throw them off.
That's fine.
Yeah. Archie will get his last attack at the end of the round. Sail, you gonna forcibly push your way through these folks?
The other option I was thinking of, like, just trying to body check this guy off the boat.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll do that. So I'll make a unarmed
Excellent.
attack, is it?
Yes, you will. They are off balance, so they will get a massive penalty to their attack roll against you, which is a complete shit, and you give them a nice shove and an opposed strength check, please. And they'll, again, be at a penalty because they are off balance. The lower of these two rolls. They will get a 20, you get a 23. Into the water this sailor goes with a splash, and they're
Does the
gone.
sword slip from his hand as he goes?
Roll me on a 18, 19, or 20. It lands on the deck next to you.
Come on, you can do it.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
Into the water. Lost another one. Is that everybody on the party? Yes, that's the whole party. Oh, except
Yeah.
for these ones up here.
All right, James.
James and Mary Beth. James should get a morale check.
Really?
He's surrounded, and Mary Beth
I
just went
guess,
down, and he doesn't have a
okay.
weapon, and it's his first fight with you guys. James will surrender. He'll put his hands
Yeah.
in the air and wave them out.
Above all else, above punching technique, what I've instilled in my students is to be brave and to never abandon your crew. Okay, I was sure to install those ideals into them as I was training them. Would he really do this if he learned under the great Archie B. Alder?
That's true.
You're right. You know, he is thinking back. Well, he's not thinking about his training, but maybe you were such a charismatic teacher that you've instilled this core principle deep in his gut. Make me a regular charisma check. 21 or higher, and he does not surrender. Yeah.
Oh.
He was going to. In the back of his mind, there's the thought, I should give up and save myself. And then he remembers the teachings of Archie B. Alder. And instead, he will disengage and run across the deck over here to behind sail. Taking no
Nice.
attacks while he goes. Leaving the other people to act. The enemy's turn now. Ooh. This one's gonna come here. This one's gonna come here. And Captain John, it looks
You're not
like
about to tell me they're all attacking me, are you?
well, it looks like everybody else has positioned themselves. This one's not, and this one's not. But 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of them are.
I feel like only 3 people can get attacks on him though, because like
I
he's
think
not
he's
gonna be able to
pretty
squeeze into
surrounded.
here. He's not gonna be
Let him do
able to squeeze into here because there's stairs. He could get 3, but not.
Yeah, okay, that's a good point.
Surely not.
this
No
guy's
way.
this guy's
Easy
scared minus
peasy.
2. No, he can attack, but he should get a negative because of the. He's
I'll
right-handed,
give it. The stairs are a
probably.
little bit awkward. I'll give
yeah,
him -1 for the stairs, but the other 4, no problem. You're
Okay,
surrounded, John. So we'll do the -1 right off the bat. Okay. And then here's 4 regular attacks. 1, 2, 3, 4. One hit.
No, I do get a free block.
You'd use it on the first one, right?
Well, it's a flurry of attacks. Neil, I'm going to roll a d5 and see which one I try to
Sure. Yeah.
Okay.
Excellent.
So,
you will take
miss.
1d6. Your AC is not lower than 13, is it? Not 13 or
No.
lower? You'll take 4 points of damage.
I'm keeping track of your shit.
Thank you.
Your armor.
This one is fighting against Sail at +1 for high ground. And nope. And this other one is attacking James. Ooh, with a critical hit. James will take 2d6 and pass out. He is beginning to bleed to death.
Sorry, dude.
She would have taken this, and she will bleed 1 point this round. And then the 5 people that took last round to get ready. Let's roll them fresh HPs. Will arrive up on the deck. Ooh. We got a lot of sailors here. I'm just going to move these suckers
Where
out
are
of the
they
way.
coming up from?
They would come up from this staircase right here, which comes up and then out the door. So they'd be exiting
okay,
over
I see,
here.
I see. Right here. Okay, yeah.
The deck is swarming with semi-capable fighters.
Nilrum, if it's the end of the round and Archie's about to go, Nilrum will call out, "Please do not make me cast Cloud Kill. All of your leaders are dead. Don't make me kill you as well. This is your last warning."
Archie, you get your 3rd attack this round. Take it, and then I think we're already over time, so we'll call it here after Archie gets his last attack this round.
Okay, I think I would vault up.
Ooh. Yeah. You you got 17 strength, right? It's an easy thing for
Yeah.
you to leap and grab and pull yourself
Yeah.
up and scramble over the ledge.
For sure.
Mm-hmm.
And I'd probably just run and punch whoever the next person is I see. So, guy right
Yep.
there. Boop. That's a crit.
Oh. Yes, it is. Roll me 2d4 plus 4. 7 and 2 is 9 points of damage. You'll crack him in the head. He'll tumble down the steps to here,
Are we okay to finish
unconscious.
this up? I don't think that we're too long, right? If everybody's fine. I don't know if Koibu
I'd be
has stuff.
down to keep going.
I really don't want to go any later than half 1. But yeah, okay.
Like,
We
you
Yeah,
can
I'm
keep it
okay
around.
with an extra 15 minutes.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Let's do it then.
Is that fine? We'll skip questions this week, but yeah, that's fine.
Let's roll initiative. Someone roll a d10 for the party. I'll roll a d10 for the sailors.
I
Take
think I'm
a
still
4.
rolling it since I'm not in
Yeah.
danger. Shit.
They will go first.
Did they want to do a morale check or anything on Nilrum's words? I don't know
No,
if that'll
no,
call
not at all
another one.
concerned about it.
Quick question. Is if I take a full defensive action, I don't need to win initiative to do that, right?
You don't. Nope.
Correct.
Okay, so
Something
I'll
you
be
do.
using my tumble to. Well, I don't know how it works, Neil, but I'm doing that thing where you just.
You're just
Parry
defending.
adds 2, tumbling adds 4. If you have the tumbling proficiency.
I do.
And I think you pass a check. Wait, no. Sorry. Tumbling is on your turn. Your turn has to come. Parrying is just a full round attack. I'm like 99% sure of that.
So I'm dodging or whatever the thing that happens immediately that gives me a
So
bonus.
you'll get plus
Right.
2.
It's +2 to AC, is it? Okay.
Yeah.
Yep. There's so many of them. All right, I'm gonna make some dice rolls to see. Is this person over here focused on John, or is he aware enough that he saw Archie go this way and back out that way and to chase? And they are highly aware. So this person is going to come in here and out to the backside where they will find Nilrum, who was shouting, and will call, "There's one over here!" And this one will follow suit as well. This one here can't attack you, but is in line to. This one, let me move the camera a little bit. This one can get an attack and will. Let's see, the others. This one will fight Sail.
I accept the challenge.
Is hacking him with swords really the best they can do? I think you're the captain, and they've got you surrounded. I think what they really want to do is grab you and take you hostage and command you to command the others to stand down or throw you overboard. I think that's really what they want to do. So these three, actually, yeah, these four right here are going to participate in an overbear attack to just sort of like grab him, he's unarmed, and grab you and like drag you to the edge of the deck and toss you over.
Do I
This
still
one,
get attacks of opportunity?
Yes.
this one will fight, be prepared for this guy coming down.
Wait, if he's gonna be prepared for him coming down, shouldn't these two have seen him up there because they were in his exact spot? And they would be looking for Archie, not running behind to jump up?
Maybe, I mean, they wanted to follow after him. They heard Nilrum back there anyway,
Okay.
so that's
fine,
a good
yep.
place to go. When you take a total defense, which you have called for, do you still get attacks of opportunity? I think you do, but I want to double check because it is a clutch maneuver here. In normal combat, characters parry all the time. There's no need to call each one. Character deliberately chooses to not parry a wizard casting a spell, for instance. His chance of being hit increases, thus choosing to parry in and of itself is not blah 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 blah. In order to make himself harder to hit, a character can parry forfeit all actions for the round. He can't attack, move, or cast spells. Focuses solely on defense. You gain AC equal to half your level. Warriors get half your level plus 1.
Oh, so 3. But, you know, opportunity attacks aren't an action.
Wouldn't do anything to protect the character from lightning bolts or fireballs. It applies only to characters attacking the defender with frontal melee attacks. Yeah, I think you get your opportunity attacks. So go ahead and make me 3, 1 against the first 3 that come after you.
Is that only 3?
Yeah, you get 1. You get 3 plus 1 for every 5 levels or something like that as a fighter.
I am a 5th level fighter, so.
I think you get 4 then.
Yeah, I am. Yeah, so I get 4. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
23, 13, 7, and 10.
So hit, hit,
3
miss, hit.
So the crit does 7.
And that will actually kill one of them.
And then the first hit does 4, and the second hit does 1.
Excellent. Oops, -1. All right. Over bear.
And they just get a +3, right, to hit?
I think that's it. Yep, they make an attack roll against your unarmored AC, and they get a +1 for each additional one. They're the same size as you.
Would that ignore the armor spell?
No.
No, because that's
No, 'cause it's
magical
magic.
armor,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
absolutely,
So
absolutely.
my AC's 20, so.
Jesus.
With the +3, I mean, 17 usually.
Parry's +2.
No, it's half your level +1.
Yeah.
And I'm level 5
If you're
fighter.
a warrior. Otherwise,
Yeah.
you're at your level.
So I think they just roll 1d20 +2, and they need a 20 or higher to grab you.
No, it'd be +3, right? Because there's 3 of them.
No, it's +1 for each one beyond the first.
Oh,
Yeah.
nice work, lads.
Wow, your AC is 20?
17 usually, 4 from armor, and 3 from dex.
From Dex.
God, that armor spell is amazing.
Yeah.
And now it's gonna get nerfed.
No, yeah, there you go.
No, that's
they
legit.
do their best to get their hold on you, and they can't do it. All right, this one back
of them
here is
dies in
going to
the
attack.
process.
Yeah, this one back here is going to try and grab Nilra or slash Nilrum open. 10 will miss, and one of them will attack Sail with a 7 is a miss. This gun's dead. This one will step in, just make an attack against the captain now that the other guy's gone. 16 is a miss. This one readies an attack if anyone comes down these stairs. Archie's waiting for you. And this one will come over here. And that will bring us to the player's turn.
Dylan does 3d4 plus 3 to the guy. This is a pity.
Yeah,
10?
it is gone. 4 HP. He's dead. That allows this guy to step forward and take his readied action of filling his comrade's spot with a 2 as a wild miss.
He's shaking in his boots, that guy.
You want to die as well, huh?
Rest of the team.
There's now some dropped swords around.
Absolutely.
So,
Archie killed a guy on the steps above me. Would I be able to pick up his sword and make an attack at like disadvantage with it?
Yeah, the sword is laying here on the ground somewhere. Go
Or can I
ahead
just grab it
and
with
make
that?
a... Yeah, I think it's fairly easy. With the staircase here, I think you could, like, you know, duck underneath the staircase and grab the sword and pop back out without too much trouble.
Sure, I'll grab that. I don't know what the cutlass is or what my role would be for that.
You normally use a rapier?
Yeah.
Okay, so you are unproficient with a cutlass. I'm going to add cutlass. You will fight at -3 with it. So you can just use the cutlass roll on your character sheet now.
Okay, I will make an attack with the cutlass.
Whoosh! You clash swords with the guy in front of you, neither of you giving each other an inch of ground, neither of you dealing damage to one another. Archie.
Yeah, that's my turn. You're muted, Archie.
Yeah, you're muted.
time to
So
save the
sorry.
day, Alan.
Archie will punch the guy closest to him.
Yep, you step down the stairs, you strike him, he strikes you. Whoops, you will take 6 damage, and he will take probably more than 3, since he only has 3 HP, and he goes
Sorry,
down.
it was supposed to be 1. Yeah.
Yeah.
I take 6 damage.
Mhm.
Yeah.
At this point, I smile at the people in front of me.
I
As
get another
hear
attack.
Archie behind me.
You
Yep.
do?
I attack the guy to Captain John Winters. Well,
This
from our
guy.
perspective, right? The down,
Yeah.
the guy to Archie's
key.
left at this point.
Ah,
this
yes,
guy, this guy, this
okay.
guy.
This guy. Yeah. Boom,
Shaka.
It's another hit.
boom.
Ooh, almost killed, but not
Oh.
quite.
And that's my turn.
And roll initiative, 1d10 for the enemies.
Okay.
Oh, they get a 1. They go first.
Roll 1.
Nope.
Nilrum, this guy's just gonna body check you off the boat.
No.
Yep,
No.
yep. Here we go. You don't have a weapon in hand, no opportunity attack. He gets
It's like
no
Fro Fro
bonus.
all over again.
5 is not good enough. He throws himself against you.
Nice.
You dodge to the side. He catches himself on the railing and pulls back as you, whatever it is that you're about to do. This one over here will slash at Sail. Up between the legs is blocked. This is not looking great. This one will disengage and back off. He's almost dead. He's not going to stay any longer. These ones have all tried to overbear Captain John Winters and didn't really get anywhere with it. The fight is not looking nearly as good as it was before, so they will make another morale check. They've lost half their forces, including their leaderships. 7 and 7. A 14. The soldiers will sort of hesitate as this one backs up. And this one already made his attack, but this one will hold action. This one will hold action. This one will hold action. And so will this one, as they all, like, kind of uneasily don't disengage, but take that, like, 2.5-foot step back away from the battlefield and gaze about. One of them, this brave one, will say, what do you want? Who are you? What are you doing here?
Well, I'm here to take your ship. You looking for a job?
pirates? Never.
Right then. Well, drop your swords, and you might still live. Listen, one more minute here, and my friend behind me is going to turn all your skulls to dust. This is the one and only chance you get to surrender.
Archie, give me a strength check.
Am I flexing my muscles?
Yeah, you are.
Hell yeah. He just doesn't miss, Neil. I'm sorry.
John, give me a charisma check.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Oh, the dream team.
The swords drop to the ground.
Sail. See to James and Mary Beth. Quickly.
Yeah, I'll run around stabilizing everyone who is still breathing.
All right. Who are you going
pops
for
the guy
first? Mary Beth
near
or
him.
James? James is at your feet.
James is at my feet, so I would have done him first.
What were you going to say, Nilram?
I'm assuming.
Nilram
go ahead.
shoots this guy with a magic missile, 13 damage.
This guy's not getting to surrender.
Yeah.
Dead. Yeah. Okay.
All right. Can we stop here?
Yes.
Yep.
We will stop
That's
here
all
for the
right.
day.
Yeah.
It's a little bit late, so we're going to just quickly leave. This has been our session for today. We'll be back next week with more Tides of Death. Unless anyone has anything to say immediately, we're just going to bow out right now.
Yeah, no.
Check out the Reddit.
That's it. Check out the Reddit. Subscribe to the Patreon.
I might level up off screen. Good luck.
Thanks for coming.
Bye.